while it's hot. 'Cause in another week it will be not.
Turn off the lights and let me feel you. I don't wanna think about myself right now. Stay out all night because I want to. Wake up in the morning and I'm hollowed out. I drew the outline on the paper, now I'm running out of space. Family at the dinner table, but I don't have a place. Where will we go? Why am I afraid to be alone? Sinking in petals, looking for the bottom. Where will we go? Cried on the phone again, I'm sorry. You don't need to think about me breaking down. Looking for guidance, but there's no advice to give, 'cause I'm the only one who can figure it out. Where will we go? Oh, why am I afraid to be alone? Sinking in petals, looking for the bottom. Where will we go? Where will we go?
I can feel this tide choke my neck and I just wonder why I'm buried in a suit I'd never buy, a suit I'd never buy. Cufflinks on my wrist, I can't act surprised when the shovels hit dirt in the earth. Did they start to die? say, hey, I can't stay late playing on my video games. You got things to do. You need to wake up early and read the morning news. Maybe I'd fit in if I tried a little more just to look like them. Maybe I'd fit in if I tried a little more just to act like them. Play my video game. 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 They say, hey, I can't spend all my money on my deadbeat friends. They need things to do. They need to go out and look for jobs, and you do too. Maybe I'd fit in if I tried a little more just to look like them. Maybe I'd fit in if I tried a little more just to act like them. Play my video game. Play my video game. Play my video game. Play my video game. Maybe I'd fit in if I tried to look like them. Maybe
Hello and welcome into the Boise State Esports Arena and the Esports Twitch page for everyone joining us, because we have perhaps the most exciting event that I've ever been a part of here at Boise State Esports. It's not going to be any competition between schools. It's going to be an inter-school competition. It is helmets versus headsets. The Boise State Esports players taking on some of the Boise State football players in a couple of events. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of big name guests on here, and we're going to start off with one of them, President Trump, actually joining us to kick things off. So it's going to be a lot of fun here, and of course David McKenzie DMAC joining me as well. President Trump, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I have to say, with everything going on, it's really cool to see us having an inter-school competition between some of our student athletes in football and some of our esports athletes.
It's so exciting, isn't it? It's a great way to get that Bronco spirit running strong at this time of year.
Do you have any favorites? Because I know you root for Boise State, but you've got to pick a Bronco here. So is there a side you're rooting for, or are you just excited to see a lot of Broncos competing tonight?
Well, you see, I'm in my orange and blue today. I'm ready to cheer on both teams. And whoever wins, it's a win for Boise State. So I'm really excited to welcome everyone here who's excited to be a part of this really cool event. I want to thank esports. I want to thank our College of Innovation and Design, Advancement, Athletics, and our football team for organizing this event. There are a lot of people out there right now who are hungry to see some Bronco activity. And this is such a cool opportunity to take these two champion teams, our esports team and our Bronco sports football team, and get them going head to head. We have two talented teams. They're going to face off in 5 games, and what a great way to bring people together digitally when we can't be together face to face. So no matter who wins tonight, the Broncos are the winners, and that's my favorite kind of game.
That is all of our favorites game. It is going to be a lot of fun. It is helmets versus headsets. The esports team taking on the football team. You could see there the players all getting ready. We have 5 events ready tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's even some things on the line tonight, some prizes. So it's going to be a crazy fun night there as we see President Trump joining us to kick things off. David McKenzie, a former Boise State football player. DMAC joining us as well. And I just want to say, President Trump, once again, this is just so cool that we were able to put this together. I know the school year is winding down, final weeks is coming up, and it's kind of a nice dead week for the players because it's just really nice to have this final competition to send the year off with all this craziness that's been going on. And as we just try to make sure everything's working there as well. So, I mean, President Trump, is there anything else you wanted to add there about the event tonight and putting it together and just how much fun it's going to be?
I'm afraid I'm having a little interference on my channel, but the last thing I want to say before let's turn things over to you guys to do what you do so well is go Broncos.
Thank you, President Trump, for that. And once again, thank you for helping organize this event. It should be a lot of fun as we see there. DMAC joining us there, hopefully able to get him with us. And it's going to be a ton of fun. We have a lot of events in store tonight for us, David. It's going to be a ton of fun. And I guess since you're a former football player, I got to root for the team esports there. Yeah, looks like we're still trying to hear from DMAC there, but let's give a quick rundown of the games while we get everything figured out. Where you, of course, with the football team involved, you knew we had to bring some sports games to the table, so we are going to have Madden 20, FIFA down there as well. But as we've had a lot recently on the channel, we're going to have quite a bit of Call of Duty, actually. 2 different Call of Duty game modes in Modern Warfare, so I'm definitely excited for that. You have Rocket League there as well, so the esports team also gets one of their games in there. So it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm definitely a big fan of every single game we're playing tonight. Call of Duty especially, love that game. Madden 20. You know, it's going to be interesting because I'll be curious to see some of the changes we've seen in football, if those are going to be reflected with players changing teams. But you can see your lineups there. And you can also see that next to the lineups there, of course, the headsets on the top. A lot of the people on this channel might be familiar with Nerdy Bird, Red Hots, Ace Pocket, Baynock, and Pyros. Their winnings will be donated to the Dean of Students Emergency Fund, thanks to Idaho Central Credit Union. And then the football players, as you see there, Avery Williams, Jordan Happel, John Ajuku, Andrew Van Buren, and Kakani Gonzalez, they will be donating their winnings to the President Funds to help students. So both of them donating to a very good cause in this Helmets versus Headset series. It is nice that there is a prize on the line, and of course a big shout out to all 10 players for graciously going ahead and donating their winnings to those respective scholarship funds. So that just means, you know, there's a little bit of bragging rights and there's a little bit of cash incentive. So it looks like we're going to hop right into our first match here in Call of Duty. Michael Fish Fisher and David DMAC McKenzie here for your headsets versus helmets. This is going to be a lot of fun. Very excited we were able to put this one on.
I can't wait, man. Are you excited? Are you ready to go or what?
Oh, I'm definitely ready to go, and you know, I heard I kind of got the game list right before we started, and I'm super excited that Modern Warfare is kicking us off and ending it as well.
So I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm super ready, and I'm excited to start with Modern Warfare. You big Modern Warfare Call of Duty guy yourself, DMAC?
You know, just a little bit. I wouldn't say much, but I know the game. But I am. I saw you guys did a little Madden today, a little FIFA as well too. So I'm excited, man, but I'm going to see what these guys got. They talk a lot of smack, so we're going to see if they can back it up.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that there's going to be a lot of smack talk. I'm really hoping we get some sort of chat that we could hear between the two sides as we hop into Call of Duty. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for Madden as well. And as we load in here, would that be your game of choice? If we had to have a caster showdown, DMAC, would you be taking me on in Madden?
I don't think he will.
Does look like we've got into Modern Warfare here. It is domination 4v4, so this is going to be a bit of exciting. Usually we're used to seeing gunfight there. Looks like blue team going to pick up a big elimination on the B side. Of course, if you're unfamiliar, we usually do a lot of gunfight. There's an A, B, and a C. You get points every time you hold on the objective. So, of course, the name of the game is try and get A and B or C and B, and that way you can get the points up a little bit faster. And never go for the 3 cap because it might seem like a good idea, but it doesn't allow you to spawn trap the opponent like some Call of Duty players might be aware of. We see here, looks like blue is the helmets team, red is the headsets there from the quick look at the scoreboard, and right now it is a very back and forth match here. As you see there, you can see Pyros and Nerdy Bird there. So definitely knowing that the headset is the allegiance, the red side there, and they're actually going to get B, and now able to maybe put a spawn trap on the football team. Unfortunately, they're all going to group up. Somebody's got a flank here, unfortunately. Only getting one. Now they're going to get a second one. Stun grenades actually hits them in the face. C4 is going to get that elimination. The football team with a nice little bit of a turnaround there. Football team going to grab B now. B is the hot point here. Usually you can hold A and C. That's where you spawn. And then you try and grab B, as you see right now. The esports team trying to get B a tie game. Get more points for the more objectives you hold. It looks like somebody's sneaking around there. Footsteps, very important. Nice elimination there by one of the esports ones. Going to pick up a double elimination as well. Not going to quite make it 3. Actually had somebody there. Going to pick up a third one there. I would have to guess that's Pyros right now leading the team. Definitely trying to get that charge on to B. Unfortunately, for all those eliminations, not much of a cap going on.
For you, Fish, I mean, is this your game? I mean, any advice for these guys, how they're playing so far?
Yeah, I'm definitely a big Call of Duty guy. I prefer team deathmatch myself, but yeah, as I talked about, a really good job by both teams because it might feel like, hey, let's just grab all 3 points and then we get more points faster. But you know, if you let the esports team hold A, you know exactly where they're going to spawn. You can spawn trap them as they try and run into B. So a really good job by the football team, not being too aggressive like we see some players, and just holding B and C. They won't win by as much, but they're just going to absolutely rack up the kills.
I think being more aggressive on their aggressive side, they can do fine. But as long, you know, with the esports players, they have the experience in this. But it seems like that my guys from the football side are kind of coming out with some attacking right away. So I like it.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was curious. Of course, the esports players, I'm very familiar with. They have a lot of experience on the stage. They have a lot of practice in games like this and the teamwork. But even though this isn't the sport they go to school for, the football team's definitely impressing me here with their communication, and they are, looking at the scoreboard, they're absolutely popping off right now. I would have to imagine at any downtime they get, there has to be some wild Call of Duty tournaments or at least competitions that go on between these guys in their dorm rooms, because these guys are incredible right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, man. They need to be focusing on the playbook, man. What are they doing playing video games? Let's go, but I see them. It's paying off.
Maybe helped out by, the fact that you got to stay indoors. Maybe that's when they've got their extra practice in recently, because, yeah, I understand you don't want to get too far away from dominating on the blue, but, yeah, right now they're putting on a show. They are starting to really pull away here, and you saw they had one of the kill streaks up in the air. The esports team, I'm a little embarrassed for my squad. They just have not gone anywhere. I might have to kick somebody off the sticks and try and turn this around, because the football team's all over this right now.
Right, and to say it is a best of 3 game. So look, it is game 1. It is game 1. But right now, it seems like my guys are kind of coming out aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, best of three, that is something that at least is a little different for esports, is you do get that little bit of downtime. You can start to turn things around. I am impressed, though. I'm not sure who the golden kid is in terms of on the football team, but he's got a golden camo there. That definitely means that he's been putting in some hours in Call of Duty, so shout out to him for having that, and he is... That's Avery Williams. So, hey, shout out to Avery because he, put in the grind for the golden camo there. So you can definitely see why he's sort of dominating right now and sort of carrying the football team with his 10 kills.
Yeah, Fish. Avery he's the man. He's the myth and he's the legend, man. Guy's just a hard worker, and I didn't know he's a gamer too. I mean, what can this guy not do? Right now, we're seeing him dominate. So I see you, the golden kid. Live up to your potential.
Yeah, honestly, that's a great question. What can't he do? I mean, I think he is also sort of the de facto team captain of the Boise State Helmets team here as they lost B for just a second, immediately captured back, but an interesting play here by the esports team actually going for that back cap, so now you can kind of trap them at B. It's not a strategy I would recommend, so I'll have to see how the football team responds, but right now that's really the first sign of weakness as a couple eliminations go out. And finally somebody holds it down. It looks like they might even go for the 3 cap here. So the football team may be falling apart as we get into the fourth quarter.
And right here, you see here, Fish, where that experience can come into play. It's like, can they not only start it, but can they finish it? And we're seeing the esports player kind of show that experience of, last minute kick in this competition.
Yeah, I thought for a second the esports team was going to go on a roll, and right as I said that, we always joke about sort of the caster's curse here. The football team absolutely putting it on. You see the guy we're on right now, 21 eliminations, just leading everybody. So I got to say, I'm just trying to find a weakness for the football team because this is a best of 3, as you mentioned, and right now I don't even know what it's going to be besides maybe, trying to pull their internet out because your guys are totally dominating.
I don't think anybody knows this, but I think, there's a secret course Coach Harsin gives the players every day after practice. They play video games 30 minutes a day. I think it's paying off.
Wouldn't that be something? Hey, you know what, guys? Practice was fun, but we got to make sure we are the best team on campus. We got to make sure we beat the esports team at their own game. 30 minutes on the sticks let go. That would... I love to imagine it, but I have to think that, they'd like to go home and sleep and eat after practice. But right now, I can't say you're a liar because they're absolutely dominating. And it looks like with time running out, they're going to have a nice, 31-point victory here.
Man, yeah, this is very, very impressive. I mean, I don't even have anything to say. It's job well done. Job well done.
Yeah, I think you lead domination to 150, so maybe the 0 seconds lied there to us a bit, but I don't think it's going to change the outcome. Yeah, the esports team's got to find just something to turn this around. You see all of the kill-death ratios are negative there, and you look at the football team. Only one guy is struggling a bit there, but right now the football team is just really dominant. It's going to have to be maybe a map change or something.
Yeah, what's curious to me too is just how a lot of players who are not actually playing esports, how much time they put in, playing these games, playing video games, and right here we're seeing that hey, a fun hobby can turn into a really, really good skill.
Yeah, and it is interesting. We talked maybe about how the esports players might have the advantage. They've definitely been the more objective-focused team. You can see there on the scoreboard with the flag caps definitely on their favor, but the football team, the Helmets, are just focusing on eliminations, and it's working out. I mean, you see one guy there, Cinco 2, he's got 30 of them. I think that's almost more than the entire esports team combined. So sometimes it's just better to sort of outmuscle the team and say, you know what, I'm just going to get the elimination. You can go for the flag all you want.
No, exactly. I couldn't more, man. I couldn't.
Yeah, I would say that, I will say Cinco doesn't have more kills than the Headsets team. They're doing a very good job. Actually, Pyros going positive there, 23-21. But yeah, no, it is an interesting strategy. Domination, definitely one of those games where you can be really useful to your team if you just go for flags, as you see the Boise State team do. But unfortunately, if you can't outgun an opponent, you're not going to win, and that's what the Helmet team has gone for there. They're going to go with we're just going to outgun you, and we're going to make sure that you might be able to get to the flag, but you're just going to get eliminated. I definitely think I saw Avery put on the stopping rounds there, camping that flag. So the Helmet's going to take the first part of that domination, but we have a long way to go in the Headsets versus Helmets. We have 5 games, and even in domination, it's still a best of 3. So the Headsets can come back here. They've got to start focusing on kills, though. Just going for the objectives did not work out for them. That was all the football team in terms of objectives. So I'll be curious to see how all this is going to work. I am an avid Call of Duty player, I will admit that, but usually on the channel we have our gunfight tournaments, and we just stick on the same map. So I'll be curious to see if we're going to switch the maps up, if we're going to do a
yeah, and actually, to say, you have those 2 strategies. Yeah, and also too, it's like you have that strategy. Do you come out and attack, or do you kind of wait and kind of see what others are doing? Look, it is game 1, so I'm kind of curious to see what's kind of going to move ahead for games 2, 3, and 4. To where it's like, all right, look, they attacked the first game, but let's see how they can recover, or can they keep this attack going and continue to dominate? So this might be a thing like teams do and say, hey, let's see what these guys do the first game. Let's fill them out. And then from there, we can make our adjustments. So I'm anxious to see game 2.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see game 2. And I will say both teams are sort of used to these breaks. The esports teams, they have, these in-between games. As you see, Doc's keys to the game here. Play the angles, get the flanks, call out the targets, listen for those footsteps. Very loud in this game. Focus the targets and finish. And then, of course, an esports special. Never take a fair fight. You can get a 2-on-1, a 3-on-2. Definitely take advantage of that. But I'll be curious. This is sort of maybe your equivalent to halftime. You just played the first game. Now you're going to get a little bit of a break going to the second. So I'll be curious to see how both teams sort of handle this break, and if the football team, as we talked about, could just sort of power right through and send a message to the headset guys that, hey, just because we're on the football field all the time doesn't mean we're not on the esports fields too, and we're going to dominate.
No, I know. I can't overlook the greatness of Doug Haskell, of Coach Haskell. He's done a great job with these players. We had to see his visual up there. He has some good keys to the game. So, but I know, I agree with you. This might be a halftime prep talk, and let's see what they can do.
Looks like we are going to swap maps over to Gunrunner. A little bit more close quarters, as you can see, not as open as the St. Petrogard that we were just on. And I'll be curious to see, this is a hard point, so a little bit of a switch in the game mode. Hard point, a little bit like domination. Basically, you go and you capture a point. And once your team captures it, if you're eliminated, you don't respawn. And right off the bat, Cinco2X, he is picking up where he left off. 30-plus eliminations last game, and he's going to pick up a triple kill. The football team saying, hey, just because we won game 1, it wasn't a fluke. They're out for the blood and the win right here.
Wow. Well, you know what? When you bleed blue one time, you bleed blue your whole life, Fish. So, I think maybe it's not just football they're good at. Maybe it's tennis. Maybe it's even gaming. So they're coming out attacking. And they're not stopping. So
I will say it is interesting to me that talking about Bleed Blue, the football team did get the blue team for whatever reason in Call of Duty. I think it would have been just random, but I'm sure it suits them just nicely for that motto you mentioned. So it is going back a bit forth, actually confused the game mode. So there's just a roving point. You just try and stand it to capture. But as you can see, sometimes standing in that nice little point there, you get points for your team, but it's also kind of a death sentence.
No, absolutely. And with this broadcast, too, it's like I'm really kind of going a lot off YouTube because little stuff with the screen, but just seeing. But it's just – but it is kind of cool, though. Seeing just through your vantage point of the game, because me being a gamer, me not being a person who plays, as much, is cool learning, seeing, and how diving into it and how their skills are showing. Who are pretty.
And we have moved the point, and it's still a very back and forth, a little bit more hotly contested than the first domination game was. The headset's doing a bit of a job. Nice little knockdown there. Point is split to both sides, and it's very interesting to me. Looks like that was Avery out in the corner, maybe trying to scout something out, actually going to pick up that elimination as well. So looks like, though, a nice friendly spawn for the helmets there. All 3 members on top of the point. Boise State getting the headsets getting a little bit of elimination, but this has definitely been where the game has broken wide open. The helmets got right to the point, and it was a tie game at first, and now the helmets just starting to pull away. They've got all the pressure on the point. They're holding it down, and it looks like the headsets might be running into potential. I thought they actually going to run into maybe just a camping member of the helmets, but they sort of left the point, and they've opened it up for the headsets to get back in it here a bit. Like it's bouncing back and forth, and it actually moves right as the helmets had started to establish the advantage there. So it's going to go down into that bottom right corner, as you can see on the map in the left side of your screen. Quick advantage for the headsets there, but unfortunately not able to hold on to it. And I think the helmets getting the slightly better spawn. They should be able to hold this one. Can they find out where the 3 members of the headsets are? They do get 1 elimination onto King Drew. Unfortunately, though, a couple of them going to get mowed down, and the helmets now setting up a night perimeter on the point. Cruise missiles there.
Oh boy, now I'm back. Now I'm seeing. Here I am.
Looks like we do see 1 member of the headsets not able to get. He gets 1 elimination. Looks like the hardpoint has moved, and once again, though, the helmets doing a great job holding it down. Looks like they do have a care package coming in, though. I think he dropped it, or it might be a personal radar, actually. Something that was right above him there with the helicopter. Sometimes a bit hard to tell. Would have thought it would have been the personal radar. Very helpful to sort of give you a mini UAV, and a great job by Cinco 2X. Couldn't get the stim off, however. He's going to go down. Maybe the headsets can find their way back in it. We have just under 3 minutes left, as you see Pyro sitting on the point, holding it very nicely there. An unfortunate spawn for Black John Wick, John Ajuku, I'm assuming, with the name there, because he's all the way on the other side of the map, has to come racing over, and the headset's doing a really good job holding on to the point. We'll see if Avery Williams, the Golden Kid, maybe gets 1. Can he turn it into a second? He's got a teammate there. All 4 members of the helmets converge onto the point, and they might be able to just hold this until time expires, as it does, and it moves back to the middle. But the headsets right now going to need a really strong hold, because they are starting to lose some ground. Looks like this one. Yeah, there's every hard point a minute long, so it does give you a bit of an advantage if you can hold it, but it sort of opens you up to being flanked, as we see there. Headsets start out with it, shrinking the gap just a bit. Nobody knows, though, where John Wick is. He's hiding right around that corridor. Fun little place to sort of blast through with that door, and he is just absolutely mowing people down. You see the Golden Kid there, just back in the tree line. Gets caught out, though, by a member of the headsets, and this has been the headsets' point so far. They're doing a really good job getting this one back, closing the gap. This, like I said, they needed a dominating point. I wouldn't have thought it would have been this one. This one really went out in the open. Looks like the helmet strategy of going for eliminations, as you can see, they have a majority of them not working out like they had hoped. will rotate back to the back right side of the map and inside that building, which sort of does shut down flanking opportunities. You can actually get up on some of that piping as well above the point. So would like to see a player maybe take advantage of that. It's a tricky little spot to get to. And the headsets actually right now with quite the comeback as we get down under 2 minutes. They have definitely found their stride. We'll see if the helmets can get there. We do see King Drew the Goat very far away. He's got to try and run in, wins that gunfight down in the boxcar area, and he can now push onto the point with his 2 other teammates, and this might be an opportunity for the helmets to reestablish this lead. Nice little grenade there by one of the members. Just saw the guy in the corner as well. Nice little headshot, did the extra damage. Looks like he's trying to chase somebody down. Going to get that one as well. Hasn't quite got the point as it is contested. Finally, they're going to get it down, and it looks like the headsets, just as time is ticking down, you can see that in the middle of your screen, 2-1 and a swap. So now it's moved back over to a spot. This is where the helmet team really started to pull away. This upper left where the box cars are, there's sort of a fencing area in there as well. This is where they pulled away last time. Once again, looks like they got a really good spawn. So they might be able to hold this, and they're just going to hold the exact angle that is most commonly used to get there. I think this might be where the helmets start to seal the game off with just a minute and a half left. Nice little flank there by one of the esports players, unfortunately taken down. That sight line with that guy standing on top of that coal car is so hard. You can only see his head, and if you don't hit the head, he's going to win that fight. I've tried time and time again. As it's been mentioned, if you have the high ground, you're usually going to win. A couple of helmet players there, and they're just mowing down any Bronco that any esport Bronco that I should say that tries. And a nice flank there by the Golden Kid. Gonna get one. He missed another. There's one right around the corner. Is he gonna get him with a little bit of damage? Got the C4. Doesn't get the elimination. Nice retreat there, but good job there. And it looks like they also have the VTOL jet. That's going to help out a ton. A very annoying kill streak. Unfortunately for the headsets, with the point staying outside, they're going to have an awful time, as you see right there, really going anywhere outside with this VTOL jet. I think if the helmets win this point, this should be their game because there's not going to be enough time left. The VTOL not being told to guard the area, but a little bit of a small misplay as it flies off the map, freeing up the airspace. Couple of RPGs coming in right around the corner. The Golden Kid, nice elimination. He's got another player as well, going to get him using that silencer, giving away his position. And I think the helmets have all but sealed this one as we have one hard point left. But I'm gonna be very excited to see how dominating of a victory this ends up, because this was a tie game just 2 points ago, and the helmets absolutely just popped off, unfortunately, right as he used his specialist kit there. The Golden Kid gonna go down, so that will be wasted. But with one hard point left, you see the helmets, the first one there to it, Cinco 2X, and it looks like John Wick both getting back there. We've got a cluster strike called in on the outside. This should be what was a very close game turning into a dominating helmets victory there. I don't think there's any hope of a comeback here for the member of the Boise State esports team, the headsets. They are unfortunately, as we talked about this being a best of 3 in the first Call of Duty series, I think they are going to drop this 2-0 because the helmets, once again, you look at the eliminations, that'll tell you the whole story. And also just a great job by Cinco 2X. As you can see there, that second category is the time spent on the point, and that 3 minutes and 17 seconds, it dwarfs almost anyone in the game, really. I mean, doing a great job playing the objective, getting the eliminations, and I know Call of Duty doesn't have a player of the game like some of the games we're used to from the esports side, but it would definitely be Cinco 2X. He's got nearly 3.5 minutes on the point. He's got 35 eliminations, and as the hard point jumps for the last time, the headsets could put up a brilliant fight, maybe get, 90 points here for holding it for the whole 60 seconds, but it's not going to matter, and it looks like the helmets could even extend to their lead. They hop onto it first. Quick elimination, though. Good job by Pyros, putting himself in an excellent spot. Unfortunately, esports team
I gotta say, Fish, that. I mean, this would have just been...
Looks like this was maybe what the helmets need at the very, very end. It's a little too late, unfortunately. I think they're going to kind of win this one here, but I don't think it's going to matter. As you see, even the helmet's actually going to double up on the score of the headsets here. Might even get to 250 as we have just a little bit of time left. Ticking down here, and the rest is meaningless. I actually think if you're on the hard point, the time also stops. It's a very interesting game mode. I've dabbled in it a couple times, but I also, I'm a big TDM guy myself, and as you see, their score limit reached. The helmets, the blue side coalition going to win, so they'll take the Modern Warfare portion 2-0 here and win the first game of this helmets versus headsets here. As we see the play of the game, as we talked about, Cinco 2X doing a really good job. So that will be the Call of Duty portion of tonight's broadcast. At least I should say the first Call of Duty portion of tonight's broadcast. This is helmets versus headsets. 5 Boise State Bronco football players taking on 5 Boise State esports players. And right now the football players are saying, hey, is there any open opportunities maybe when we aren't practicing? Because they put on a show in Modern Warfare. I know a very popular game for a lot of people. They absolutely dominated there. You see the players on both sides. Nerdy Bird, Red Hots, Ace Pocket, Baynock, and Pyros going up against Avery, Koa, Jordan, OJ, and AVB. And both sides have agreed with Idaho Central Credit Union donating to that the $1,000 to the winner of each game. So the football team picking the President's Fund to help students. So $1,000 going to that. So it's going to be a big shout out to the football team for donating that $1,000.
Wow. That's awesome. I mean, it's really cool just seeing how we can bring skills and people to make a great cause. So it's simply cool to be a part of that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's huge shout out to the football team for, donating that. I know the esports team also had their own donation, so hopefully they'll be able to get that. But yeah, I mean, crazy shout out to the helmets, by the way. We talked about maybe in that halftime, could the headsets find a turnaround, but no. It was close for about half the map and then absolutely pulled away by the helmets. Those guys proving that they are no joke on the sticks with Call of Duty, at least. I'm kind of impressed.
Well, the one thing to realize and to look at, Fish, is that a lot of these players who are not in esports play these games a lot. And not only do they play a lot, but they're pretty good. And it's kind of cool to kind of see these things kind of out in the open now. And it's a competition for a great cause, but it's kind of cool to see, hey, man, these guys are pretty good. And to take the second game, now I can start bragging a little bit. The first game I had to wait. But this game I'm saying, okay. Job well done. Especially shout out to the golden, what was his name? The golden kid? The golden boy?
Kid, Avery Williams. Yeah, he was definitely golden. He was incredible. Yeah, and the next game's Madden. I know you said that this is your game. So, you know what? If the esports losing this one, we might have to cancel the whole thing. We'll get you and I together somehow, and I'll have to make up for it because right now your squad, if you want to say your football team dominating my esports team. So I might have to make up for it if the esports team loses in Madden as well.
Well, no, yeah. We'll see. I can't wait to see this. I wish I was competing in this. I really do.
In the heart of New Orleans, folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football.
It's going to be Avery Williams as the Patriots, which I'm a little disappointed he's playing the Patriots, and then Brandon Kosiancic, Red Hots, playing as the Saints, which is... Hey, you know what? It's like I'm playing because I'm a huge Saints fan, so I'm just going to pretend if they win that it's really me on the sticks because I couldn't have picked a better team for the esports side.
But see, who knows? That we'll see that. Hey, maybe the esports can take this one, so we'll see.
I will say the one thing I want to see with the Patriots getting the ball is who's quarterback, because Tom Brady's not there anymore. So I'm be curious. I'm doubt Avery Williams was going to pick the Patriot if it's not Tom Brady. So I'm a little disappointed that he picked Tom Brady.
I know. R.I.P. man, he's the GOAT, but we'll see. He's at Tampa. Wow, I don't know why he made that choice, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't even know why he made that choice. Hey, maybe this is his sort of practice. He's going to see the Saints 2 times a year now, so now he gets his shot at him here in our helmets versus headsets. As you can see, the helmets on the left, Avery Williams controlling the New England Patriots. And I got to say, as a Saints fan, I'm very scared for that reason right there. Tom Brady's going to pick apart your defense no matter how good it is, and the Saints defense is historically pretty bad.
Absolutely, and not only historically pretty bad, but also they have a lot of issues of closing games. Just have bad luck. I hate to say it, but but that's a good defensive play right there. They want to stop Tom Brady with the short passes. Avery's keeping with the scheme, so good defense. Saints in on that one.
Just had to go there with the Saints and closing games. Just unbelievable. I hear it enough. But, I mean, you talked about being a Madden player. So what's your defensive strategy? Are you just chopping on the defensive end like we see Cameron Jordan there and just rushing the passer? Or are you sort of that guy who tries to play lockdown defensive back?
I'm the guy who's on defensive end right there. Let my computer do the work. I have a good scheme in place. But I like doing that. I'm a more of a defensive guy, man-to-man, on my defensive end when it comes to playing Madden. What about you?
I'm right there with you. If I tried to play safety, quarterback, anything, the receiver would be 30 yards down the field. I can't do the backwards controls in Madden. So, yeah, I'm on the defensive end. I'm going to win my matchup, and if I can't get to the quarterback, the CPU better be in the right spot because I'm almost worse than the CPU on rookie when it comes to defense. I'll be honest, I'm the guy who sims defense whenever I can because if I don't, I'm giving up at least 50.
Okay, I feel that. Is there a certain team that you play with while you're on here, other than the Saints? Certain team?
Other than the Saints, I will say this year, I was a big Arizona Cardinals guy. I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. I was a big Michael Vick fan growing up as well, so I like the mobile quarterback. I like sort of that cheese of running out of the pocket. Am I going to throw it? Am I going to run it? So I was a big Arizona Cardinals guy. Almost an interception there for the Saints. That would have been huge. But no, I'm a big mobile quarterback guy when I'm not playing Drew Brees.
I think the key to playing a good Madden game and the key to winning in Madden is having a quarterback who can run. When the pocket shuts down, you got to have somebody who can be mobile and can make a play happen. You can't run. You have a Jay Cutler back there, you're done.
Wow, just tearing apart Jay Cutler. How long has it been since he was even in a Madden game, let alone a real NFL game? But yeah, I completely agree because I will say maybe you've had better luck, but running the ball is almost impossible in online in Madden. I just feel like it's so hard. You just go with the really good quarterback, as you mentioned, the mobile guy. You get good receivers because also that's what kills me. You make a perfect pass, and then your CPU receiver just drops an open touchdown. So you've got to have good receivers. Basically, half the league's kind of useless in Madden. If you're not on a good team, you're probably going to get smoked in Madden.
Yeah, very true, and you do want to choose a team with a good line because the counter trap does work for me on a running play. Touchdown. Nice in and out play, nice throw, nice play call by Avery. Patriots on the board first. Not a bad drive.
That was a really excellent drive. It was a couple of stops. I don't even know if Avery faced a third down on that drive. He absolutely sort of went down the field, which is what we're used to seeing Tom Brady do. I'll be curious to see what the Saints do because I'll be honest, if you just watch the NFL, you say Drew Brees is a great quarterback, you've got to go with the dink and dunk. The arm isn't there like it used to be. You've got to kind of go short pass, and then maybe go a play action because you're not going 50-yard bombs with 40-year-old Drew Brees anymore.
No, you can't do 50-yard bombs with him, but you can run a little spider two-wide banana or something like that to get him in the flow of things, like you said, a little short pass every now and then. So now see, that hits your point right there, Fish. Run plays don't really work like that on Madden. What is that? I don't get it.
It just feels like the CPU defensive ends in online are just so smart. As you mentioned, the counter trap works, and sometimes if you're running backs fast enough, which it's very hard to find, maybe like a Christian McCaffrey, maybe an Alvin Kamara, the sweep plays sometimes work, and if they don't work, you're going to lose 5 yards. It's like the definition of boom or bust. You're either going 80 to the house on a sweep or you're facing 2nd and 15. So I just throw running out the way. And by the way, for the Saints, just throw it to Michael Thomas. They couldn't stop him in real life. I don't think Madden can stop him either, unless you maybe make a little bit of a poor throw there.
Man, Michael Thomas, what a guy, what a receiver, what a player. I mean, if you were on fantasy football, if one of your first picks, you're thinking, that guy gets 10 touches a game.
I would have to say 10 might be an understatement. When I watch the Saints, it's like 30, it feels like. He's the only good receiver they have. I know they got a guy in the offseason, and I know they keep trying to think Taysom Hill's a receiver, but that could be an hour-long conversation with me. But great job by Avery, by the way. He's going to get a quick 3 and out, and that's the last thing you want to do is give Tom Brady the touchdown and then give him the ball back without scoring. This could be a route in the making if Avery can make something happen here on this punt return.
You know, I don't know what Avery ate this morning. I don't know what he ate for lunch today, but whatever is going on, he came to win in everything today. So we can't hate on him. We just have to appreciate him because he's doing some good things. You know, the Call of Duty surprised me, and now he has a chance to maybe what we call a skunk him 21-0 if he scores 2 more touchdowns before half.
Yeah, he's, the first quarter's winding down here. And so that would be a question that I want to bring to you, D-Mac. I know you're a former Boise State football player. When you're playing Madden, does your experience on the field help you at all? I know there was a story about how Tony Romo played Madden to get better at doing play-by-play for what he's doing now. So as a former football player, when you were a football player, does playing Madden, is it easier for you guys, or is it just so weird because of its different camera angles and it's all in a video game?
I mean, I think it can help you a little bit for sure. You know what to do, but sometimes, I have a friend named Ryan Finley who plays on the Cincinnati Bengals now, and he can be kind of too realistic in Madden. He's always throwing picks in the video game, so it's like you gotta have the knowledge, but you also gotta need more. So,
a little bit of shade there at Ryan Finley. Wow, I hope he's not watching. He might challenge you to a Madden match.
No,
say, hey,
no shade.
Pick me off.
No shade.
It's all fun. It's all fun in games, and that's in any sport, trash talking's got to have a place. You've got to have a little bit of fun trash talking there. Nice sack on Brady. Maybe not a skunk him as he talked about there. Looks like the esports player.
That's a nice blitz right there off the edge.
Red Hot's able to get the stop, so
now
he's got a chance. He's got a chance
it's
to
funny
at least tie the game.
When it comes to when you're playing, man, especially when it comes to we'll see.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how he handles it. I would say my advice to him would just be throw the ball 3 straight times to Michael Thomas, and if that doesn't work, that's what they do in real life, so I got nothing for you.
Well, it does work for them. But the one thing that is a deal with that is, the 2 missed calls that they didn't have, Orleans, and when they played Minnesota and when they played the Rams. So it's like, I really feel, I know you are a Saints guy, but I think the only word I can tell you is I'm sorry. Those missed calls in the past, I'm sorry, man.
The Vikings one doesn't haunt me as much. It really is the Rams one that to this day haunts me. It was even in this building down at that, 10-ish yard line that you can see at the top right of your screen. Every time I see that, every time I hear the name Roby Coleman, I just sort of flinch. Nice pass there, near interception by Avery Williams. We talked about having some of that experience, and as a defensive back, he nearly came away. That's a pick I bet you he would have made if we were on the blue. He would have made that one-handed, get 1 foot in bounds in college. He would have made that pick. He's got to be mad at the computer there.
Yeah. You should have switched to him, then he could have user called it.
I will say we talked about the running game struggles, but actually Red Hot's doing a really good job with these Alvin Kamara runs. The shocking part, really, I think, is Drew Brees has 1 passing yard so far, and that's never a recipe for success. Drops back. Nice little pass there to the timeless Ted Ginn Jr., and maybe Red Hot's figuring out. He just needed a drive to warm up. He's going down the field now.
And the thing is, too, is if you run the ball, if you run, some trap plays, some halfback draw plays, just to get your running back a couple yards here and there, you can have some success running the ball. You just have to be very strategic with it when it comes to Madden.
Yeah, actually, I think we just saw one of those counter plays you're talking about there, actually picking up quite a bit of yards. So, yeah, good job by Red Hots here. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky, especially in Madden. We always hear the red zone, the field shrinks. It's going to be a lot easier for maybe an interception by Avery. So, good job sticking on the ground, but that's what happens. We talked about it. Just 5-yard loss, and everything you just did was for naught. You basically just push yourself in 3rd and long.
Yeah, I like his approach. I think he's going with the approach of, hey, look, we're not going to score a touchdown on one play, but let's put together a good drive and see what we can do and see if it works for us. Let's not try to get a first down. Let's just get the 2nd down and 5, 3rd down and short.
Oh, nearly another interception by Avery. He's got to be kicking himself with that. Another near one-hander. So I think we get the field goal at least. Red Hots get some points here. Should get some points before the half. You always like to score before the half. So field goal there, 7-3, New England leading. It's helmets versus headsets. The football team taking on the esports teams in 5 different events. We are actually in our 2nd one. The football team putting on a very impressive showing in Call of Duty in Modern Warfare. So they're up 1-0. Of course, all the winnings being donated. Big shout out to the Idaho Central Credit Union donating the winnings to a couple of scholarship funds. But at least you get some points on the board. You never want to be shut out going into halftime, as it's Fish and David McKenzie, D-Mac with us. And this is your game. So how does Avery Williams start to pull away here? Is it a big touchdown?
Just scoring before halftime, and do we remember who got the ball first? Was it Avery who got the ball first? So I think if he can possibly get like a 2-minute drill going right here and maybe get a quick score, a field goal on the board, I think he's in good shape. He's already undefeated on the day. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, well, look at that little juke.
Oh, nice run play.
To get him, had to bring him down. Yeah, I think I'm definitely worried for the Saints and Red Hots here, because I think Avery Williams is about to just march down the field. Usually it's the Saints doing the marching in New Orleans, but I think he's going to march down the field. It would not shock me if this 2-minute drill is something we see from Tom Brady every single year when he was with the Patriots.
Absolutely. And he's going kind of conservative right now. 2 back-to-back run plays, but a timeout, so he's in no rush. But I tell you what, Fish, Madden has been huge in my life. I'm very competitive. I even had a record board in my dorm room. I think I was 75-2 in Madden. I remember that because I won a lot of the games. So I would love to see if Avery wins this. I want to challenge him because I think I'll win.
Well, I'll just say you're lucky that I never happened to stumble across that board in your bulletin in your dorm room, because I might have made it 75-3, D-Mac. I like to think I'm a decent Madden player. Maybe you would put me in my place and I would never even pick up the game again, because that's a pretty crazy record. Who did you even lose to at that point? I mean, 2 losses is incredible.
Yeah, but I think that loss was... You know what? I think it was to Ryan Finley. That's why I was throwing some shade on him.
So clearly he didn't throw too many interceptions in that game. that's kind of funny. You tell me he looks like real life throwing all these picks, and then you remember, oh yeah, my 2 losses were both to Ryan Finley, but I beat the 75 other guys who challenged me. So, hey, you know what? Maybe you need to run it back with Ryan Finley when he gets the chance to really get that redemption arc going.
Oh, I am. Right now, Avery's going 5 wide now. You kind of see the aggression. Kind of his play call. There's underneath route. There he is. Nice play. That's Patriots football 101, Fish. Short routes, intermediate. and outs, 5-yard plays. But it works.
Exactly. Find the guy who's open. Don't make the flashy play. Live to get another down. 3rd and short is just infinitely easier than 3rd and 8 if he goes for the end zone. Yeah, this is textbook Patriots football. This is, I think, what everyone's going to want to watch when it's not Mr. 12 back there under center like Avery gets the benefit of, because he'll be in Tampa next year in Madden 21. So, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you go to the open guy. Probably the running back in the flat is the absolute staple of the Patriots offense, or the crossing route there, and I'm surprised he didn't get out of bounds, I'll be honest. He has 2 timeouts, so what does he care?
Yeah, and right here we're going to see too, what is this red zone play? Is he going to attack, go to the end zone, or is he going to try to attack the sidelines to get out of bounds to save the clock?
It's like it's the
there it is.
Sideline. I was surprised he didn't call a timeout. He actually let about 20 seconds tick off the clock. He did the no hurry, which they penalized because they don't want to show all the animations, and then he made a bunch of audibles. So I'm kind of surprised he's sort of wasting these 2 timeouts, but also doing a good job preventing Red Hots from getting any chance for sort of some Drew Brees miracle in the final seconds.
Uh-oh, audible. He's audible. What is he going to call? 1-on-1. Oh, what a move.
That spin
He was so close, Fish, but it wasn't close enough.
Hey, that's why he saves the timeouts, though. He's going to have, 2 plays to the end zone? This is the perfect spot. You get 1 play. You get 1 play to the end zone, probably on a quick slant. Unfortunately, the Patriots receivers are kind of But you get a quick slant, you don't get it, you just kick the field goal, and you go into halftime up 7. I think Avery's in a great spot. I'm not very envious of the Saints right now.
This would be huge, though, if he can hold Avery to a field goal. This would be big.
He got the incomplete, so, all right, I got to ask, I mean, $1,000 are on the line for the winner here. And I got to be honest, there's $1,000 on the line. You go for the throat. Disappointed Avery went for the field goal. It's a safe play, but come on, there's $1,000. Go for the touchdown. Just put him to bed early, but I can't hate on the 7-point lead. Maybe I'm just upset that the Saints are losing in Madden just like they lose in real life.
Man, that's a tough decision, but I get the safe move. But we'll see. Yeah, I get the move. I get it.
It is helmets versus headsets here. The Boise State football team taking on the Boise State esports team in 5 different events tonight. We are on event 2 with $1,000 being donated by Idaho Central Credit Union to the winner, and the winner have pledged it to a couple of different scholarship funds that we'll highlight later on. And right now, the esports team, they get the ball red hots with the Saints, but he's probably got to get a touchdown here, or this might be a game over, because he has not found a way to stop the Patriots and Avery Williams.
Well, the one thing we do have to give him credit is that, the way Avery's opening drive came, it looked like it was going to turn into being ugly. But, his defense has kind of showed up. They got a field goal on the board, and if they have a good drive here, hey, he's back in this football game.
Yeah, I think points are key here. Nice little play. Oh, a huge interception by Avery Williams. He's done that on the real field. He's going to do it, man. He takes it to the house. I mean, that's just a killer. It's a killer right there.
Right there, that's a typical play that I've never thrown that football on the left side. If it's a comeback route, you feel the pressure. That's always a Madden glitch interception. So I feel the quarterback on that. I feel him on that one. I hate it turned out that way, but that's the way Madden is.
Yeah, I mean, you said it right there. Any Madden player knows comeback routes are probably the most glitchy thing ever. Half the time your receiver doesn't come back to the ball. Half the time he runs off the field, and the quarterback's right there. Yeah, you can't go on the nice comeback routes that we see are the bread and butter of a lot of NFL offenses, because you nailed it. It's a Madden glitch. I'm not sure if it's ever worked, and I've been playing Madden for 10 years on a comeback route.
Man, that special team is covering hard too, aren't they, Fish?
Yeah, that special teams is incredible. I mean, it's where Avery Williams thrives, right? He got the pick six in his defensive back role where he's the defensive captain for the football team. But he started out making noise on the special teams. I think he had a touchdown in his first game against Troy a couple years ago. So he's letting it know, hey, I do it on the real field, and you better not mess with me on defense or special teams in Madden either.
And see, you know what? Right now, I feel that if he wants to get a victory, you know, if the Saints want to get back in this game, you got to start going no huddle. You got to start getting more up tempo, and maybe run into Alvin Kamara on back-to-back plays. See what you get.
Yeah, definitely got to do something to catch Avery off guard. Maybe a screenplay, but those also in Madden have a history of blowing up in your face. But yeah, I agree with you. He's got to go no huddle. He's got to do sort of these quick passes just like Avery was doing, find somebody in the flat, because these plays, is that another pick? I think, oh no, he dropped it. I thought that was a pick.
No,
I thought that was a pick.
Like, whew. Okay.
I was about to be nervous. Yeah, you've got to go no huddle, and you can't do these long passes with Drew Brees in this offense. You've got to go something like a quick slant to Thomas, maybe get Taysom Hill involved as you see number 7 running around looking at a place as a quarterback lining up as a tight end for some reason. It's got to be these quick plays, not 4 verts. I mean, I know 4 verts is a great play in Madden, but that's not what the Saints do. He's got to go quick passes.
He has to go quick passes, so if you want to have some matchup problems, go 5 receiver set. Go 5 wide. Get some crossing routes. Get some mismatches. Try something different and see how it goes for you.
Yeah, looks like he's going to go with the nice little, a huge interception again. That usually that guy on that sort of seam route, the post route in the middle is open, but he threw the ball about 2 seconds too late. Great turnaround by Avery. He spotted that out, and it's another pick.
All right, it looks like Bill Belichick did his homework today. You know, like you said, with Drew Brees, you have to really scheme him right when it comes to outside routes, inside routes. So, unfortunately, it was a lot in that middle. And 3-on-1 receiver, I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah. Oh, Avery, though, gives
it right he hits it back.
Actually, nice little bobble there.
You know what? There was a saying that Coach Harsin used to always tell us that, you know, when adversity hits, you have the saying, so what, now what? And right there, my man said, so what, now what? We threw an interception, let's get the ball back.
Yeah, we'll say, we talked about it with Drew Brees, nice little truck there. I mean, Drew Brees and Tom Brady very similar. You're not going to see these long passing plays. You just need a sort of 5 yards here, 5 yards there. Let your receiver or your running back make all the plays. If you're going deep, as we saw back-to-back plays, both these guys probably going to throw interceptions now that they're both north of 40.
You know what, and speaking to that point, you know, how would you want to, I mean, I want to feel like that and look like that when I get 40 plus, man. I mean, Drew Brees and Tom Brady, my gosh, I mean, guys are still playing at a Super Bowl level and they're north of 40 years old. I heard Tom Brady, he has guacamole smoothies every morning. Do I need to start trying that, Fish, or what? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, the Tom Brady diet is no guacamole smoothies. He doesn't eat strawberries, which I thought were healthy for me because they're a fruit, but apparently they're not good for me. Yeah, I guess, yeah, maybe, you know what, we get rid of the cliched raw egg smoothie. We just go guacamole smoothies every day, don't eat any strawberries, and go from there, I guess.
Right, and when you drink it, just say, I'm being like 12 and fight through the pain.
Yeah, you know, I'm being like TB12, who I actually did hear, you know, maybe it's not good for your eyesight, though, because didn't he actually just get, I don't want to say busted, but didn't he just actually go into, like, the wrong house, and they almost had to, like, call the cops because they thought it was a robber? I thought I heard some story like he broke into his neighbor's house, so maybe you got to make sure you wear your glasses on the TB12 diet because maybe it doesn't help the eyesight out.
So I have a question. I mean, whose house is he breaking into? I mean, what neighborhood is he in? I mean, did he walk into Derek Jeter's house? You know, that's my question.
Yeah, I would love to know. I mean, I guess, can you really complain? You know, if you come home and you're like, is that Tom Brady on my couch right now? Like, you couldn't even be mad. You're like, can I get you anything, Mr. Brady? What can I do for you? It's almost like you have to treat him like you invited him over.
Right, exactly.
So we have had a ton of fun so far today, D-Mac, and it's going to get more exciting. You know, normally in the NFL, when we get a quarter break, you get all the commercials. You go refill your guacamole smoothie, as we've been talking about, or your chips and dip. We're going to take a break at the end of the third quarter, and we have a special guest. We have former Bronco Jay Ajayi going to be joining us here as well. So it's a star-studded show. Who even knew? So a minute and a half from now, you know, that everyone knows that the time in the NFL is a little bit funky, but about a minute and a half from now, we're going to have Jay Ajayi on, who maybe, I would say he'd give a pep talk, but I don't think he's rooting for the esports team, so he's probably just going to encourage Avery to really just put the pressure down, maybe score 10 in the last quarter.
You know, it's you know, Jay, you know, so I've heard he's a good esports player. You know, I don't think he wants to see me in Madden, but it's going to be good to talk to him and catch up with him. And I did throw another shot, but I can't wait to get him on here and see how he's been.
Next thing you're going to reveal us that your 75-2 record in Madden, your losses were to Ryan Finley and Jay Ajayi, and that's why they're getting all this shade, because you got to make up for those losses. But yeah, I think I did see he's a professional esports player now, so I'd love to ask him if he could maybe sort of do a double athlete move, what he's going to do. But yeah, he'll be Jay Ajayi coming up at the end of the third quarter. It's like our own press box interview, D-Mac. We're getting somebody in the press box. The game's getting a little out of hand on the field, but we're going to have somebody in the press box here in about a minute to join us and talk about being a football player and an esports player. It should be a lot of fun with Jay Ajayi as Red Hots tries to score before the end of the quarter, but running the ball with Alvin Kamara is not going to do much.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of cool. You know, we get our own box interview. Who knew, Fish, that we would be like Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth on the Monday night team, you know, or Sunday night team? Who knew that?
You know what? They better be careful. We're going to send this tape in. We're going to be coming for their jobs because we've got the big-name guests coming in. We've got the big-time football action here in Madden 20 as you see helmets versus headsets, football players taking on esports players, Avery Williams and the Patriots just throwing down a monster sack onto Drew Brees and Red Hots there. And as the quarter comes to an end, we will have our special guest coming up, Jay Ajayi, joining us, former Boise State football player, former NFL player, Super Bowl champion. Make sure we get that in there. And I believe now an esports player. I believe he is a professional esports player, so it's going to be a lot of fun to have him on.
Sorry, say that again, Fish. I want to catch that last bit.
I think Jay Ajayi, I went over all the NFL accolades, which we're all familiar with, but I do believe now he is a professional esports player. He's gone from the football ranks to the esport ranks, so he might be maybe impartial here. I know, I've kind of assigned you the football team. I've taken the esports team, so I'll be curious to see who he'd be rooting for.
I know, me too. We'll see. I mean, I want to eventually hear his opinion.
Yeah, and we'll get it right now. We should have Jay Ajayi, former Bronco, former NFL player, Super Bowl champion, and professional esports player now joining us. We can see at least the top of Jay Ajayi's head there. Hey, how you doing, Jay?
What's good? What's going on?
What's up, man?
What's going on? Hold on, I gotta fix myself first. What's good though?
You're good, man. How's life? What's going on?
Hey, everything's...
Wait to make sure he's there. We do have the Madden game at the end of the third quarter. The Boise State football team, Avery Williams, winning 17-3 over the esports player Red Hots. But we're taking a break with Fish and D-Mac with Jay Ajayi, former Bronco, former NFL player turned professional esports player, joining us here, hopefully momentarily. And I guess I'll ask you this question, D-Mac. I know you were at Boise State. We actually had a class together. I will sort of break that. But were you teammates with Jay when he was with Boise State?
We had class. We had a class together.
No, he's talking about he had a class with me.
I was like, what?
Jay, I threw a little shade out there. I said you don't want to see me in Madden, and everybody agreed. And so I want to ask you.
Relax. You gotta chill. You gotta chill out.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about Jay. Just how, tell me about your transition, man, from into esports and your skills in that lane. Maybe a little lag.
Every esports player knows if you don't have the good internet. There, he's back. So I think he was asking about your transition, Jay, from professional football player to professional esports player.
Little technical difficulties, all good. It happens, Fish. We roll with the punches, right?
Oh,
oh my god! Oh my gosh! Man.
I got this shitty Wi-Fi, man. I'm sorry, guys.
It's all good. It's all good.
What's going on?
So yeah, the question was, do you like your transition in, how you transition to esports, how you like gaming, whole nine?
Yeah, that the esports came up. My marketing guy brought it to me. Teo, Teo, he brought it to me as an option while I was still playing. Just as a hobby, knows I like playing video games, so it was just like a nice little opportunity that came up. Yeah, those guys are good though. I learned really quick that, as much as I'm a professional athlete and I put all my time into my career, that's what they're doing and what those guys do. Did you hear anything I said?
I like that. Fish, you want to do the honors?
Yeah, we did hear you, Jay. So I wanted to.
Yeah, I did. I heard you.
You talked about going from football to esports. Do you think you could have been a two-sport athlete at Boise State and played Boise State football and played for the esports team if it was around back then?
To be fair, just knowing myself, I would have wanted to just focus on one thing. And it probably would have just been football. The esports is good. For me, it is more of a hobby. I won't say like that's something I was willing to bet my house on, and make a career out of. I know there's a lot more people that like grew up playing like games for real, and their mom were like, "You're not gonna make no money off this," and they like, "Trust me, mom, I got this," and that's what they're doing. But for me, I was an active kid. I came up in the age where we were outside, we were playing around and playing with.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we just got a couple of freezes there. As we can see, though, no technical difficulties on this side. Here's some of the current players that are playing in this and the headsets versus helmets there. You can see there, Avery Williams, definitely a happy man, dominating in Call of Duty and in Madden there, as we do have everybody back. Any questions for Jay, D-Mac?
Yeah, Jay, I wanted to hear a little bit about, we're commentating on Madden right now, so who is your team that you typically choose on Madden? What's typically your strategy that you would go about?
He's good at playing the actual game. So when I like to play, I like, doing the free randoms. You pick out the random, and then when it's the game, I like doing competitive as well, playing competitive mode, user skills, and I just play like the NFL what it's taught me. Looking at schemes, looking at personnel, down and distance, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of fun, trying to manipulate the game and to try and play it the realistic way. But obviously, it's video games too, so sometimes crazy stuff happens in the game that would never happen in real life.
I agree. I mean, any advice for our players right now playing in the
Who's who?
So Avery's a Patriots. Go ahead, Fish. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no, I was going to say, yeah, Avery Williams, the Patriots, and then the esports players, the Saints, who's currently trying to have a fourth quarter comeback here.
Yeah, tell them good luck. 17-3. We got Tom Brady still. He not in Tampa yet. It's over. It's over. Avery better not let this
there he is.
Don't let that. Come on, we need those.
Oh wow, good call. Good call.
Come on, bro. What you thought?
Good Jay, man, thanks again, man, for coming in and your time. It's good connecting with you. And
sorry, it was good connecting with the bad connection.
Exactly.
We gotta try a new platform. I don't know, the Zoom or FaceTime or something next time. I don't know, my data plan wasn't ready for this one.
You're the one over there using that you're using a Razor flip phone over there, aren't you? What's going on?
Yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault. I'll take the blame on this one, guys.
All good, brother. All good. It's good to see you, man.
Oh, it's always great chopping it up with you, D-Mac. You know you my guy, man. Shout out Frisco, Texas,
Yes, sir, man. Frisco, Texas.
Yes, sir, bro. That's my guy.
Thank you, Jay, so much for joining us, and best of luck in your esports career. We were definitely hoping for big things like you had in the NFL.
I will say my esports career is most likely over with. I think I'm going to retire with 0 losses. With 0 wins, not 0 losses. I retire with 0 wins, but I got a lot of pride still, so I'm okay. But yeah, right now I'm working on getting my real career back and get me. So we just been training during this quarantine time. Just get ready to get back on the field.
I can't wait to see it, brother. It's time to unleash the beast. Can't wait.
Yeah, no doubt. Get the J train back on track soon. You get me?
Let's get it.
You done know. All right, my guys. Hey, Avery, handle your business though, bro. Hold it down for the helmets. You get me, bro? And shout out to all the Broncos that got drafted and got picked up this past week too. Go make a name for yourselves out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't wait to see those guys get in the uniform, man. Can't wait.
Once again, big thank you to Jay Ajay joining Fish and D-Mac here on the Helmets versus Headsets. And even there, you heard at the end there, D-Mac, a little bit of a teaser about what's coming up next. Maybe you gave a shout out to the Broncos who got drafted. We might see, as you said, a little J-Train back maybe soon, hopefully.
I can't wait, man, to see that. I can't wait. And, guy's a Pro Bowler, great player, hard worker. I can't wait, and I think it's time. It's a divine timing for sure. So I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. It's always nice as someone who graduated from Boise State to just see the Broncos succeeding in the NFL, seeing more of them in the NFL. It's always a lot of fun to see more and more of them growing in the NFL.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of times people, overlook, but see, it's like how many Broncos that are in the league and that have brought so much value to franchises. It's like, the Boise State's become a full machine, just producing top-notch talent. And it just keeps happening every year, never stops. So it's just a pleasure. I got to be a part of that, and it's cool to be a part of a good tradition.
And it is in, you know what, it's still carrying over to the esports field here. We saw the interception that Jay called, and now Avery's just marching down the field. I think he's going to put a nice little victory stamp here on this. And Hey, you know what? Maybe if there's a Madden Esports League that needs his services, he could put this tape together and maybe get drafted there as well.
No, definitely. He could definitely get drafted and save a lot of injuries for sure.
I look back and I just see the Saints in the fourth quarter losing. Red Hot's one of the Boise State League of Legends players controlling it, and it brings nearly a tear to my eye, D-Mac, as a Saints fan, to see them once again in a familiar spot of losing a game. It doesn't matter. There's still something on the line. Even though it's in Madden, and it just kind of hurts. It just really kind of hurts.
I know it probably does, Fish, and I'm going to say this. That was the worst call in NFL history, that play versus the Rams. That was the worst call ever. I don't know how they missed that, and I apologize again for that. But, hey, you got to move on, right, Fish?
Oh, you know what? I'm not going to move on until we win a Super Bowl. If we win a Super Bowl, I will gladly move on. I think this would have actually been the Super Bowl matchup had that play gun called correctly, and I think we would have, maybe introduced Tom Brady to an early retirement, but that wasn't the case, and now he's torching us here. Maybe this is what the Super Bowl actually would have looked like with Avery Williams just sort of throwing the ball up 14 with under 3 minutes left. I'm not going to be surprised here if he goes for another touchdown and really just puts a stamp on this victory.
Yeah, why not, right, Fish? I mean, I would be aggressive. I would even go for it here if it becomes fourth and short and try to put this game away.
Yeah,
nice play.
When you play online, you always go for it, right? I mean, unless you're up like 2 points, you don't want to risk a turnover. You always try and win by just an embarrass. This is where the realism goes out the window. Most teams would, all right, let's kneel on the ball. Let's get out of here with a victory. We're on to Cincinnati, as Bill Belichick would say. But in Madden, you just try and win by 100 if you can. It doesn't matter how much time's left.
Absolutely. You just try to get the job done and also have some good clock management. And Fish, I want to bring up one thing is that during this time, with quarantine and everything, we get to have cool events like this. And I don't know if you've heard, but Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Phil Mickelson, and Tiger Woods are going head-to-head in a double duo in golf. So it's like all these opportunities coming up during this time. It's just super to be a part of that and watch cool events like this, man.
Yeah, I did hear about that golf event. I'm intrigued. I'll be honest. I would love to hear the trash talk between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. I mean, that was always the most talked about rivalry in the NFL when I was growing up watching. I would honestly just pay to watch those two guys trash talk each other, and even if it was in Madden and neither of them could figure out how to snap the ball, I'd listen to the trash talk.
Oh, I definitely would. Me growing up, I was a huge Peyton Manning fan, and so I think it would be cool to see him in action with Phil and Tiger and Tom. And if you have not watched Peyton's Places, that's another good show on ESPN as well.
Yeah, Peyton Manning's making a name for himself outside. Maybe, what, he might be the next esports player at this point. What hasn't he done? He's, they offer him millions of dollars to call the football. He's like, no, I got this cool show on ESPN where I go around places and people watch it. So, what can Peyton Manning do is really the question.
Absolutely, dude. And, he comes from, a family of guys who have done it, and different things with Cooper, Eli, and it's just like that family just breeds excellence, what they do in sports and out of it. So,
well, you talked about maybe Avery going for it. You see it's 4th and goal from the 2. He's going to go for the end zone. He's going to get it. Who else but Julian Edelman? And I think we can put a bow on this one. I don't know how the esports player, I don't know how they can come back because that's just deflating to be scored on 4th and goal.
Well, you know what? I mean, Avery's played a complete football game here. I mean, he's done good special teams. He's done good on offensively and defensively. I mean, 24-3, that's a pretty good showing. So I think the way Avery has played, he has deserved to be in this position that he's in.
Yeah, he will give the helmet side 2 victories to nothing here in helmets versus headsets as we're nearly halfway done. We still have a lot of action. Finally a game maybe the esports players a bit more familiar with. We have Rocket League coming up, and then we go back to some of the classics, FIFA, and then we'll wrap it all up with our final Call of Duty, maybe some revenge on the line for the headsets. But right now, I got to ask, what would you do in this situation if you're the esports player? Do you just run out the clock and just get out of here, or do you keep throwing and maybe try and at least make it 24-10?
I'm going to tell you this, Fish. One time I was down 17 points, and with 2 minutes to go, and I ended up winning the game. So Right now, I'm saying that he just starts taking shots down the field, and maybe the glitch can go in his favor and see what happens. So I'm taking shots. There's square. Let it go.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That's 4. That's 4 interceptions. That's what I was worried about. Just that was, well, what can you say? What can you say when you throw 4 picks, but, you know, go into the practice field?
Yeah. Nothing you can really say about that, man. Now you just take a knee. And, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I mean, after he went for it on 4th and goal, I would not be shocked. I'm kind of surprised Avery ran the ball. I honestly thought Avery was going to just go and let's make it 31-3.
And see, if I don't think he should. I mean, it's just a respect factor, you know, hey, call it, take a knee. Now, unless you and that guy have a rival, you don't like him, and you guys have always battled out, yeah, throw it down the field, call a deep post. But right now, it's like, hey, look, you got the game, take a knee, call it a game.
It looks like he's going to actually take your advice. I thought after the passing play he might call a timeout and try and really sort of put it on. But no, he went to the knee, took the knee. Tom Brady, can we call this his last victory as a Patriot, I guess? Because this would be the last maybe official victory for Tom Brady as a Patriot.
Fish, that was good. No, you know what? I think we can count it. I think we can count it for sure. And you know what? Over, under next year, Patriots. Do they have more than 10 wins or under?
Oh, man, that's tough. I know Andy Dalton just got cut. I've seen everyone saying Andy Dalton's going to go be the next Tom Brady, but I got to go under. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm a guy who said that was all Brady. I don't know how much Belichick did besides take all the fun out of it, so I got to go under on that. Maybe you can talk me into the over if you're on that side, but I can't be a believer right now.
In the words of Bill Belichick, well, you know, we'll be just fine. We'll be just fine, and we'll continue to win, and we'll continue to grow our franchise. That was a Bill Belichick impersonation, by the way. Just had to throw that one in there.
That was actually pretty good. I'll be honest. I thought that was Bill Belichick joining us. As you see there, the players on the screen. I'm going to be honest. I thought Avery would be fist pumping, walking around, smiling because he is right now on top of the world. He helped the Helmets team win in Call of Duty, and then he put on a clinic in Madden with the 24-3 win. So you see him, all the esports players maybe got to focus in just a little bit. But before we get to the next game, we're going to take a short break. It's Helmets versus Headsets. Boise State football, the Helmets have 2 victories so far in our 5-game series. Fish and DMAC have more action, but you want to stay tuned because we're going to take a quick break.
Since 2016, universities have been adding varsity esports, competitive intercollegiate video game teams, with nearly 100 colleges and universities now with official programs. Esports is fast becoming the new college sport. But with any dramatic change comes criticism. How could institutions of higher learning promote something so trivial? But when you look a little closer, esports demonstrates, just like other sports, that it's a pathway to something more.
There's several misconceptions when it comes to esports and its place on the university.
What's that?
The first and foremost is that people would say it's not a valuable learning activity. It's not a place where people can learn new job-related skills or maybe get a good industry feel for what's happening outside the university environment. And that's just simply not the case. And all evidence points otherwise. There are so many new jobs. The industry is absolutely booming. People are looking for students that are graduating with experience in things like streaming and technologies, marketing, the whole business side, sponsorships. There's the whole graphics and coding component that involved in esports and other video game type of activities that are really important in just terms of jobs and industry.
And on their way to those careers, students who attend schools with varsity esports programs can compete for their university. But in order to be eligible, students have to meet the same high academic standards as other student athletes.
You have to maintain a certain GPA. You shouldn't be playing constantly. You should have like a certain time frame and like practice for like 2 hours a day or 4 hours a day. You shouldn't be just like overwhelming yourself.
Care about your grades first and foremost. As Dr. Haskell said, he cares about our grades first because we came to college to get an education, to get a degree, and then we also get to do what we love and play esports.
Athletics and other university-sanctioned activities bind students together with purpose, a chance to be part of something bigger than yourself, where we learn to work hard, play a role, lose with dignity, win with honor, all for our school. This is why we play.
We are back here in Helmets versus Headsets. Fish and D-Mac here, and D-Mac, David McKenzie, former Boise State football player. He's 75-2, self-proclaimed record in Madden. And right now, your skills are rubbing off for the Helmet side. They've won Modern Warfare. They won Madden. They could, we're still going to play all 5 games. It's not a best of 5, but they could clean it up here if they win in Rocket League. But I'm going to say this is more the esports players' element. I would think that they might have a nice resounding victory here.
I agree. I think this is going to be a big tester, but in the words of the mighty Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, Fish, you're last. So we're going to see if the Helmets can go for 3 in a row here.
Now, I'll be curious to see how they do in Rocket League. I saw that some of the players had the golden camo in Call of Duty, definitely shown that they had played a little bit, but this is a whole new environment. It's cars playing soccer. The camera is nowhere near as friendly as the one you see on the screen. It's always sort of tracking the ball. We're going to see a lot of fun plays here. We're going to see a lot of whiffs. This could look a lot like Bumblebee soccer. I don't know if you're familiar with that, D-Mac, with the 6-year-olds that all just sort of follow the ball and just sort of knock each other out of the way because they all want to kick it.
No, absolutely. I think so Headsets are now on the board first. I think, honestly, Fish, I agree with you. I think this is going to be a key tester when it comes to the Helmets. If they can win this is very impressive because this right now, this game, this is in the Headsets element.
Yeah, this is 100% in the Headsets element, especially with a couple of the players that some fans might be familiar with, Ace Pocket and Baynock, both a couple of the more standard Rocket League players here. We do see that Nerd Chick there, also Nerdy Bird being there, and I'll be curious to see how this happens. It looks like they're going to set up something, but Ace Pocket not able to get there. Let's see if a nice clear there by Juku, putting it all the way down. Baynock answers it right back, going to put it in the goal. Can he follow it up? Yes, he can. Headsets starting to pull away now.
Yes. Look. Yes, still frozen a little bit here, but
yeah. As we get that, we'll resolve that. We'll see if the Helmets can also resolve this early deficit. A Demolition does go out, so they'll be playing a man down. He is going to respawn there. The hit's just a bit more violent than maybe in football. You got to sit out for a couple seconds there. King Drew trying to get the clear. Looks like just a miss there by Nerdy Bird. Unfortunately, that could have been a 3rd Broncos goal. Be curious to see King Drew loses it just a bit. Baynock steals it away. Good job, though, by the other member playing under the name Bronco Esports, but I know that is a football player, nearly taking that one away. Nice save there by the Helmets. Unfortunately, not quite able to get there. Baynock falling back. Nice job by Ace Pocket corralling that one here. So you see Baynock now carrying it down. We do have for the Helmets team, we do have John Ajuku. Of course, you can kind of pick that one up with his name, John Ajuku. Avery Williams playing on the Bronco Esports tag, and then King Drew the Goat Andrew Van Buren, AVB, a nice star running back for Boise State there as well. Ball just in front of the net, couple of collisions as we talked about that sort of bumblebee soccer, and that ball just barely going to score. The classic fish flopping, and Baynock puts it in.
Man, I mean, we're really impressive right now with the headsets coming in with this aggression. I mean, I think this is kind of a combination of all kind of the anger from the last couple of losses and saying, now we're on our territory, now we're on our domain. Let's see what they got, and let's send a message.
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't be surprised if the headsets team here maybe even piles it on, because Call of Duty and Madden did not go their way. So I would be kind of impressed to see a lot of goals scored, like another one. There's 4 now for the headset.
Wow, they are not playing around. They said, you know what? The last couple of games were a joke. Now we're awake. And we're seeing that now. 4-0, man, out the gate. Very impressive.
Yeah, nice start here for the headsets. I am rooting for the helmets to get a goal, just, because if they figure this game out, they could be pretty deadly. It is kind of wild, though. You used to Madden or FIFA where you're actually the player. The cars hitting the soccer ball, I'll be honest, it's all a bit disorienting here as the ball bouncing in front of the helmet's net. Unfortunately, a whiff by a couple of members. King Drew the Goat now able to get it. Going to get that nice boost as well. Nice little play. See if he can carry it down in the corner. Maybe put something up for his teammate there. Oh, Avery Williams just barely missing. Could have got them on the board, and anything is possible in Rocket League. It's a very fast-paced game. We've seen tons of crazy goals scored in 30-second increments. I think our record is 3 in 30 seconds here on the stream. So definitely still a game the helmets can get back into. Unfortunately, just need to find the back of the net, and Avery Williams could do it. He puts them on the board.
Wow. Well, that's no surprise, isn't it, Fish? Avery with the first goal for the helmet. So I think, this game right here, Fish, it's going to be predicated on if the helmets can get the feel of the game, how the headsets are playing, and then once they get the feel, if they can make adjustments by getting more comfortable, then maybe they can get back in this game.
Yeah, no surprise at all that Avery scored the first one. He's been Mr. Do-It-All for the helmets tonight. He was a key factor in their Modern Warfare win. Just picked up a win in Madden as well over Red Hot. So really he's been playing fantastic. Maybe he can get another save here, but the ball bounces off the crossbar. Thought maybe the headsets would not have a nice little finish goal there. Get the lead back up to 4, but 30 seconds left. We'll see if they can add another one. Dirty Bird just going to go underneath that ball. King Drew the Goat tries to dribble it out. Andrew Van Buren going to set it up for Baynock, though. Hits it off the top of the crossbar, unfortunately. Doesn't seem like the helmets are going to get the win, but you know what? They did get a goal, and as you mentioned, if they can find this one out, kind of sense how the headsets are playing, I'd be very scared to see. I mean, depending on how long the series is, might be a best of 3, but the esports side, they're the winners, but I would be scared if the football team figures this one out in our helmets versus headset series.
No, absolutely. I no surprise at all with the headsets winning that. I think that just comes with camaraderie, teamwork, experience. They were on their ground, on their turf, and they showed that in that matchup.
Yeah, I will say that I don't think there is a Rocket League map that has blue turf, but if it did, I'd be very scared of what the helmets can do. As you can see, Doc's keys to the game, clean rotations, metered aggression, rotations, really making sure you're not playing that bumblebee soccer. One guy on the ball, somebody going for the follow-up. Communicate positions, have the follow-up, and then side control is key. So, I think there's definitely going to be something. And there's also a hidden part of Rocket League. You saw it a little bit with the bombs, where if you run into someone at full force, you can demo them, takes them out for a couple of seconds. I wouldn't be surprised if the football team just goes full demo and says, you know what, we might not win, but we're going to make you pay for it every time you touch the ball. Almost like, a real defensive player says, running back's out the ball, let's just cream him. He might not drop it, but he's going to pay for it.
Absolutely. You just might take that physicality approach of saying, look, we don't have the best plan or scheme to score, but hey, if we can't do that, we're going to make you feel it. We're going to take the Detroit Pistons defense vibe and just hack them and play physical and see if that works in our favor.
Yeah, I would not shock me if we see some of that come out here. It is the helmets versus headsets here. Football team taking on the esports team. Right now, the esports team, they've dropped the first 2 matches here in Modern Warfare and Madden, but they just got a nice victory there in the first of this Rocket League game as they set up something in front of the net. Ace Pocket, though, not going to have any follow-up here. Avery Williams playing on the Bronco esports tag. Nice little carry down there before Nerdy Bird steals it away, and it looks like the headsets, they found their element. They're asking, can we play this game the whole night?
Yeah, they're clicking on all cylinders here, Fish. They're not messing around. They know what they're doing, and when you have a team who's playing like they know what they're doing, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it would not be, they've got to make sure they get one. If the football team won all 5 events tonight, it would be very disappointing for the esports team. So glad they found a game maybe they're finally a bit more familiar with here. And right now, we'll see if they can maybe add another goal. Nerdy Bird not able to get it. Ajuku going for the ball, not quite able to get it as Baynock going to put it over on the other end. We'll see if a nice little defensive effort there by Ajuku, able to clear that one away. Boise State offensive lineman John Ajuku, and then King the Goat Andrew Van Buren, Bronco running back on the team, trying to corral that ball. Nerdy Bird going to get the clear. We do see Avery Williams taking a defensive effort there in the goal, but those are really hard to stop.
Another smooth and just efficient goal, and full possession with the headsets. I mean, to me, Fish, honestly, I just want to hear your thoughts. How could the helmets possibly get back in this game? I mean, because right now, with the headsets playing like this, clearly the momentum's in one team's favor. I mean, what would you do?
Yeah, I would have to say, we talked about it a little bit, getting those demolitions. Yeah, we have Doc's keys. You could follow Doc's keys, but if you just wanted one quick one that wasn't on Doc's keys, go after Baynock. He's one of Boise State's star Rocket League players. He's kind of like the quarterback. And if you're on the defensive end, just go after the quarterback. Hit him. Maybe with the, we talked about the Saints, the Bounty Gate scandal. Just doesn't matter if he has the ball. Doesn't matter if it's a good play. Just run right into Baynock. Just keep knocking him around. Sort of make him pay for any goal he's going to score as Ace Pocket carries it down. But yeah, you just sort of bully Baynock would be my one suggestion.
What a play that was right there. The defense is stopping and drives it right in the goal. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was incredible. What? Like I said, the helmets, they might have to take the we're not going to win, but we're going to make you pay for it approach, because they're definitely going up against 2 of the really good Rocket League players for Boise State, and Ace Pocket and Baynock. And yeah, see, there you go. Just bump them around, push them off the ball, make them pay a little bit. And I think the helmets, if they can do that, they can maybe take advantage of, them getting a bit frustrated, getting their opponents tilted, as we like to say in esports. And I think they might be able to turn that into a couple of goals and maybe even steal a game here. See him knocking Baynock off the ball. Baynock, though, going to recover it, going to carry it down. He had a teammate setting him up. Unfortunately, the crossbar was there. And a nice job, though, by Nerdy Bird stealing it away and putting it in the net. And a similar scoreline to the last game, unfortunately, for the helmet side.
Well, I'm excited. I mean, it kind of changed the tide a little bit. We're kind of saying, hey, look, we were seeing the helmets dominate this battle of the series, and now we see the headset saying, no, this is not over, and we still can win the series.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it is 5 games, and if you wanted to, you could say the helmets could have won the series with a good performance in Rocket League. The headset's definitely saying, we don't want to let that happen. We want to at least pick up one victory, be able to donate to our scholarship fund of choice, which a big shout out to Idaho Central Credit Union, donating $1,000 to the winning side of each match, and that $1,000 being donated to a couple of scholarship funds. Is Fish and DMAC on the call for helmets versus headsets here, and it looks like the headsets might be looking for a 5th goal. Unfortunately, going to lose possession there. Juku just going to drive around that one. Avery going to get a nice pass up to Andrew Van Buren. Playing it off the walls, very, very difficult. Everything's basically alive in this game. You can play off the wall, you can play on the ceiling, you could drive on the wall or ceiling too, which really just sort of opens up the endless possibilities as the Bronco football team, the helmets, go chasing that ball around. Baynock, as we saw right there, right off the ceiling. And now there's an open net opportunity for Avery Williams. John Ojukwu steals it from him, unfortunately. Getting a bit too selfish. Always hard to, not let that ball go in. Nice play by Ace Pocket. Vaynoch going to try and carry it down. Avery Williams there on the Bronco Esports car. Not quite able to corral it. Nice able cleared there from Andrew Van Buren on King Drew the Goat there. And it looks like there's a little bit of a stall out. They do see, unfortunately, the helmets running into themselves maybe a bit more than the headsets, but they might have an opportunity here. They could have a huge play on the goal, but Ace Pocket able to make a nice save here as we tick down into the final minute. The headsets already having one victory. Haven't quite heard if this is best of 3 or best of 5. We'll have to find out, but this does seem like it is a best of 5, so this could be a nice second win, putting them on match point there for the headsets. We'll have to see, but hey, that does give the helmets a bit of a time to recover. They have at least a third game, maybe to figure some things out here. Maybe we can get them, maybe they can get a nice goal here as Andrew Van Buren tries to dribble it down. Nice shot there by Avery Williams, getting another goal for himself.
Nice. But you know what? I just have to go back to the headsets, Fish, because I'm just really impressed about the tenacity that these guys are playing with, and the grit, and kind of saying like, we're here, we're not going anywhere, and we're gonna play this game with the vengeance and with the purpose, and it's exciting to watch.
It is a lot of fun to watch. I am glad, as someone rooting for the headsets, that they were able to find a game where they could sort of make the helmets pay just a little bit for their couple of early victories. So it is nice to see as we do tick down here in the final seconds. There is no three-point play in Rocket League for those unfamiliar. It is just like soccer. So this is going to be a second victory for the headsets. Nice little wheelie there, donut there by Avery Williams in the final seconds. And the headsets, they're going to go on to match point. But hey, big shout out to Avery Williams. He has been Mr. Do-It-All for the helmets. He's, I believe, the team captain. He was huge in Modern Warfare, got the win in Madden. He has both goals, so if he could figure it out, I'd be a little bit worried here in this Game 3. If he can find his mojo a little bit earlier in the match, he might be able to carry the helmets once again.
Yeah, and I think that is a high possibility, but I think the one thing about this matchup and this game style is that it takes a unit. It takes a group, and I think if everybody is playing on the same page, playing at the same level, playing at the same speed, when you do that, I'm laughing at the content in my headset. Sorry about that. But if they can all get on the same page, playing the way Avery is, at that same energy, I think they can do some good stuff.
Yeah, they've definitely put together something very strong so far here. So we do have one more Rocket League match left, at least. Maybe a sweep coming up for the Boise State Esports team. Fish and DMAC on the call, but that's just one of several. We're starting to get to the halfway point here. We do have 2 more games coming up after this in the Helmets versus Headset series, Esports versus the football players. So we still have a little bit of ways to go, but I have to say I'm feeling very confident that at least you're not going to be able to brag to me that your football squad won everything tonight. I'm really feeling confident that the headsets are going to pick this one up.
Yeah, Fish, because if they did, I would have been at your place tonight playing the Boise State fight song until 4 o'clock in the morning. But I won't need to do that. So.
I mean, you honestly, in Boise, Idaho, for the time I've lived there, you'd be celebrated if you did that. If people would join in, they'd be like, what are we doing? We're singing the Bronco fight song, and I would never go to sleep. So I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. My neighbors would just join in. I'm sure they'd get some revenge on me for maybe staying up too late playing Madden. So I'm glad you're not going to do that, even though my neighborhood would love it. But hey, maybe we can just do it together. It's Broncos versus Broncos, as we've talked about. We've got this crazy quarantine going on, and we still found a way to have a competition to end it up. I know there's not many sports going on, so it's always nice to have some kind of competition to end the school season.
Yeah, Fitch, I want to give you credit as well, too. It's us not, ever doing anything together. It seems like, we're flowing pretty good. So props to you, man, for carrying this thing and anchoring this thing down, Fish.
It's, as we mentioned, it's the camaraderie we built in our communications class together, DMAC. We learned how to communicate. That's where we brought it. That's where we first met, and we've just carried it through. We had, a little bit of a separation. We went our own ways, and now we're back together for this, and it's like we never missed a day in our life. It's like we've been going to class this whole time.
And people, we were communication majors because, look, we're actually using it, okay? We didn't do it because of the easy major. We're actually using the communications degree.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Finally, someone else understands. We're both using it. You could see the players there. They are using their game skills, I'd have to say. I mean, maybe there's a major involved. I do think we have some of our Rocket League players as engineering majors, which you could understand how this is math and angles and all the crazy bit. But yeah, it's Fish and DMAC on the call of headsets versus helmets in Rocket League, our third game of the night. The headset's going to score to start it off once again. They are well on their way to finishing off this series.
They are relentless, and you can just tell that when a team like that is clicking on all cylinders, you know what you want, you know how you play, and you know the tendencies of your other teammates and players. So it's a great way to start this match.
Yeah, and it has been nice to see as it looks like, Ace Pocket does it again. And that's just the crazy thing in Rocket League is how fast you could score.
Dude, I missed that. I looked down at my phone one time and they scored again. My gosh.
That's the one thing about Rocket League. You look down, you blink, and you could miss a goal. It's almost like how can you stare at the screen for 5 seconds or 5 minutes without blinking is nearly another one that time. Avery Williams making a fantastic save. I know that says the Bronco Esports 3 card, but trust me, that is Avery Williams. It is not an imposter maybe trying to sabotage the attack of the helmets. That is Avery Williams. John Ajuku and Andrew Van Buren are joining him. And then Baynock, a name several fans of the esports team are familiar with Ace Pocket and Nerdy Bird on the side of the headsets. The best of 5 Rocket League series, our third game of the night. And as you can see there, the headsets with 2 of those blue little tick marks well onto their way to getting a sweep with a 2-goal lead as Ace Pocket puts it up for Baynock in the mid. That one's going to find home, and we could be in for a rout. The frustrations could come out here, DMAC.
No, it really could. It's just honestly very impressive, too, that, the esports program, that Boise State has and that they're building, it really just shows that and kind of just the tradition that's flowing through all sports at Boise State University. It's a tradition, not just in football, but as you see in esports and gymnastics, it goes through, all assets of the university.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you would be hard-pressed to find any sort of Bronco athletic team that hasn't won a recent championship, that absolutely hasn't dominated a competition they were in. That is sort of the Bronco way, is just beating whoever's in front of them. The esports team has had a couple of huge upsets in some of their tournaments, just like the football team did. What really feels like yesterday, but was actually almost 2 decades ago, as Ace Pocket nearly puts it in on the goal, and he's going to score. And I got to say, I don't know if we'll see a crazy comeback like in a Fiesta Bowl, but that would be something here for the Helmets if they could come back from this.
Yeah, it would be crazy, Fish, but I don't see it. These guys, their headsets, are playing very, very, very well. And when you're playing like this, nothing can really get in your way. You might just have to take this one on the chin and wait for the next game.
Yeah, I do think in the next game, it's going to be very similar to this one, actually. FIFA is going to be our next game, but maybe a little bit more of the realism like Madden might help the football team. But hey, you know what? Big shout out to them for being gracious enough to play in Rocket League. They're out of their element, unfortunately. It's just not going their way, and it might be a long 3 minutes for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, this get ugly very, very quickly. I do agree with you, Fish. I think FIFA might be better suited for the helmet, more of a realistic game, and I love FIFA. I mean, I know are you a player? Are you a guy who's always playing or likes competing on FIFA World Cup?
I would say I'm a little bit more recent to the FIFA game there. I would say maybe right when I got to college, so about 2012. Is when I got into it, but before we get to that, just enjoy the crazy things that these Baynock and Ace Pocket could do. It's incredible what these guys could do. I mean, you wish you could do that in FIFA, and then of course the hat trick coming down as well, our fun little graphic. But I wish you could do that in FIFA. That'd be a ton of fun if you could make your players fly in FIFA. It would completely change the game. see here the helmets able to stave that one off, so they're at least able, maybe they can find another Avery Williams goal. He has scored one in each of the first 2 matches, so would be nice for him to continue his sort of dominating streak here and put one in. Unfortunately, it looks like Ace Pocket might be able to put this one in the back of the net. Baynock actually going to steal it from him. He'll put it in. And yeah, I think there's some frustrations definitely coming out from the esports team here.
Yeah, they know. We know the matchups we had in the games prior to this. They have to send a message and saying we are not going anywhere.
Yeah, definitely make the FIFA game more interesting. Not let the helmet say, you know what, we've already won 3 games. Maybe we'll let you guys have one. But no, good job here by the esports team to really let them know, hey, you know what, we're still a force to be reckoned with in some of the games that we picked tonight here, especially in Rocket League. So they are well on their way to the victory. Still 2 minutes left. Still anything could happen. Maybe even Avery Williams, unfortunately, just getting knocked off by John Ajuku off the ball. So he is going to lose that one there. Will try and retreat, able to steal that one away. Good job by Andrew Van Buren. King Drew the GOAT to steal that one. Avery Williams trying to get the clear out. John Ajuku going to try and put this on net. He might have an opportunity. Can he have enough boost? No, a big save by Baynock. I will say, shout out to Nerdy Bird, the one unrecognizable gamer tag you might see for the headset side. Her first shot at Rocket League. Of course, we all know how skilled she is in Overwatch, but this could be the Avery Williams moment. Hey, that's his 3rd straight game with a goal. Shout out to Avery Williams.
Yeah, we are seeing his play, even though they are, not playing their best in this game. His play has definitely been consistent.
Yeah, you know what, if Avery Williams, if you gave him maybe, if we had to keep this whole quarantine thing going and he wasn't allowed to practice, you give him maybe about a week or so on this game and he could be a force to be reckoned with. I'm really blown away by the skills I've seen off the field from him tonight. We know how great he is for the Bronco football team, but he's apparently amazing at Modern Warfare. He's fantastic at Madden. It was just incredible, and besides the fact that my Saints lost. So really big shout out to Avery Williams for bringing it in all facets here as we're down under a minute. Maybe John Ajuku could add one. Unfortunately, just driving under that one. Avery not quite able to get it here. Maybe Nerdy Bird lining something up. Not going to be able to get to that ball either. But now Avery Williams has it near midfield. Can he take this possession home? Couple of bumps out of the way, clearing the way for maybe a last-second feel-good goal. Send a message to the other team. Everybody trying to get to that ball, just bumping into each other. Very disorienting sometimes how the camera can be in Rocket League. Last 20 seconds here. We'll see if either team able to get a goal. Maybe the esports team can really drive home this victory, or maybe the football team can have a nice little final goal here, but it doesn't look like it. Baynock going to just maybe dribble out the clock up above the wall. He might put up something for himself. Couldn't get there. The headsets will be your winner. But I'm going to be honest, D-Mac, I'm really scared for FIFA now, because I have to say, with the football players getting blown out like that, they've got to come back with a vengeance. They might put up their own 7-1 victory in FIFA, depending on how skilled they are.
Oh, man, that's going to be the turning point. Now, remind me, what's FIFA? There's one more game after FIFA, correct?
Yeah, I think we're going back to Modern Warfare. We're going to play Call of Duty twice, okay, which is something they won. So they've got to feel, even if they lose FIFA, they've got to feel very confident.
Well, and we'll see. They have a chance and opportunity to win again in FIFA and then hold that last Modern Warfare matchup to see who takes it all.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. And there's more than just, pride on the line. We do actually have some money on the line. Idaho Central Credit Union has announced that they will donate $1,000 to the winning side. They are our official financial partner of Boise State Esports, and they have decided, you know what? Doesn't matter if it's esports or the football team, they're going to donate $1,000 to the winning team, and each team has announced before the series that they would donate that $1,000 to one of the 2 scholarship funds there. As you see with the esports, they've won the $1,000 off of Rocket League, donating that to the Dean of Students Emergency Fund, and then the football team with their wins in Modern Warfare the first time, and Madden donating that $2,000 to the President's Fund to help students as well. So a big shout out to Idaho Central Credit Union for donating what will be $5,000, and then a big shout out to both teams to donating their winnings. So we're going to take a short break. And D-Mac, I know I've made you sort of the representative of the Bronco football team, but I will have to say there might be one guy above you, and that would be the voice of the Broncos, Bob Beeler. I got a chance to catch up with him earlier today, sort of one of the voice of esports. There's more than one of me versus the voice of Bronco football, Bob Beeler. So we are going to see what Bob had to say before all this transpired, and trust me, we haven't had sports, but we found a way to get Bob to call some Boise State action. You want to stay tuned for that. And then after the interview, we have FIFA, our fourth game of the night, but it's going to be Bob Beeler taking the spotlight up next.
Legend.
We're having a lot of fun tonight with our headsets versus helmets. And look, I like to consider myself the voice of Boise State esports. So I figured if the esports teams are playing the football teams, what better way than to get the voice of the Broncos, Bob Beeler, to join us tonight. Really have the stakes ramped up. Bob, so glad of you to join us. And let's just catch up. Of course, you know, we're all affected by what's going on right now. That means no sports. So as the voice of the Broncos, what have you been up to with no sports to call for the last 50 days?
Well, just trying to hang out, stay safe. My lawn's in better shape than it's ever been. I've had a chance to walk on the Greenbelt, but it has been a really, really boring time. I was expecting to be on the first season of Boise State baseball, covering the team, doing home games, doing away games. And as far as I'm sure, like most sports fans, it's been a very, very empty time out there. And I think people are really going to enjoy when sports are able to come back.
Yeah, the one nice thing, and we've talked about it a bit, is that esports has been able to keep going because everyone can stay at their homes. And I know, of course, the football team may be in line to be the first sport team here at Boise State to get back on the field in the fall semester. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we have something crazy, Bob, that we want to get to. But real quick, of course, we know we want to talk football. What's just one quick thing you're looking forward to if we get a play this upcoming season that you're looking forward to for the Boise State football team?
I think just interacting with the players, the coaches, and the fans. I think that's what you miss. You miss the ability to not only see the games, but to interact with the people that are part of the Boise State athletic community. And I think that everybody talks about crowds. If people feel comfortable, and when that happens, I think people are really going to enjoy going back to games in person. Something that maybe people took for granted.
Well, it has a crowd, Bob, and it has football. And it's still socially distanced. So we were able to put together Boise State, Washington from the Las Vegas Bowl. Of course, that result didn't go the way we wanted, but we have a simulation, a redo of sorts that we would love to at least get one Bob Beeler signature call on, but at least to watch some kind of football has got to be nice, right?
It does, and these things look pretty lifelike. There's Hank Bachmeier. He's going to be the quarterback in this game for Boise State against Washington, and I see you've already spotted the Huskies fish, a 7-0 lead, so we're going to see if we can get this game even on this drive. Looks like all your favorite Broncos are out there. Robert Mahone, you see number 34 there. He's one of the running backs. John Hightower, number 16. Khalil Shakir, number 2. So Boise State in its all-blue uniforms, ready to go on the drive from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, you know what? The Huskies.
I think you guys were.
Go ahead, Bob.
I think you guys were smart letting me call the game, not running the joysticks, because I don't think I could get the guys to go in the right direction. Nice little short pass there to Robert Mahone.
You know, I know you're a Bronco fan through and through, but to be honest, if we had you running this game, we'd probably put you on the Washington side just so the Broncos had a little bit easier chance winning this rematch because we know what happened in real life. So we would put Bob for the Huskies, and then maybe we could run up the score and feel a little bit better about ourselves.
Well, I remember playing against my nephew when he was about 10 or 12 years old in NCAA college football. And I remember having trouble passing, so my team would have been all run. There's a nice pass over the middle, complete for a first down. And Boise State moving the sticks, getting close to midfield.
And I'm just going to say, I mean, I'm a person who loved the NCAA football video game. It hasn't been back for, I think, almost 7 years now. I'm blown away that we even got this together with some nice mods on Madden 2020. This is spectacular for me just to watch college football in any sort of format. And you know what? I do like that it says on the field that we're in the national championship because That's way better than the Vegas Bowl.
Yeah, looks like we're inside of the Dome. Boise State taking on Washington. We're getting a chance to look at the Huskies' defense there.
We're just pretending we're LSU, Bob. We're in the national championship game this year. It doesn't matter about Joe Burrow and the Tigers. We made it there this year. Hank Bachmeier clearly had an incredible run, and now we're trying to defeat Washington in the national championship. I'm so excited that we got this to set up.
There's Bachmeier getting the snap. Handoff to Mahone. Pretty good defensive play there for the Huskies. They closed that hole down in a hurry.
Yeah, it doesn't look like running the ball, as you talked about, would be your strategy. Maybe not the best. They had a couple of really good passing plays to start. I'm surprised they went to the run there on the sort of delayed handoff.
Big play here, 3rd and 8 to try to keep this drive alive. Bachmeier in the pocket. Throwing left side, and it's knocked down, so it's going to be a 4th down coming up, and we'll see if the Broncos are going to try to go for this. It's early in the game. First quarter, only down 7-0.
Well, I'll just say, Bob, as a Boise State, not even close to a historian, but as someone who's followed Boise State, when they're in a big game, they usually do something crazy, so I would think they're going to go for it.
And they are going to go for it just shy of midfield. Well, no, wait a second. That's a punt formation. I didn't see the punter there. And Boise State will punt it. And what a tremendous punt. Joel Velasquez, who I believe won the esports competition down at the bowl game in Las Vegas, able to get a punt to take a quick right turn and go out of bounds on the 3-yard line.
I was going to bring that up. I know at the Las Vegas Bowl there was an esports competition. I know you talked about going there, interviewing some of the players. So I think they're playing stuff like Mario Kart. What was your sort of takeaway watching the players? Did you think that they were really into it, or was it just kind of something to do for bowl week?
I think a lot of them were really into it. They played Mario Kart, and of course when you're up on stage and you're competitive, you want to do the best you can. And Joel won his group. I think there was 4 or 5 different heats, if you will. Nice run there by Washington to get out from inside the 5-yard line. Saving tackle by Jalen Walker. But no, I think they were into it, and I think I heard a lot of them complain that they didn't choose the game they were best at. So I think Mario Kart probably benefited people who played it before.
Yeah, Mario Kart, one of those classic party game staples. I would have been curious to see some of the games we're going to see tonight. Maybe that's what they would have preferred. I'm sure, of course, if they could have somehow gotten this game to be out there, Washington versus Boise State, they would have eaten that up, at least to say, hey, we're going to win on the field because this is what happened. So it's really cool as someone in esports to see that the bowl game was that accepting of the esports team, and looks like we jumped ahead in the action, and Boise State got the ball back here. That's the power of esports, Bob. If there's a long, 3 and out, we can just jump ahead right to when the ball flips field.
So we're going to say it was a punt?
Yeah, or it looks like maybe
was it a turnover? I mean, where they had the ball at the 27-yard line, I think it probably was a turnover. So Boise State now in golden opportunity, and they're going to run the ball to Mahone, and Mahone is going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. Tremendous blocking. Boy, there weren't many Huskies there to be found on that side of the field, and Boise State is within 1 now at 7-6. Good cut.
Yeah, nice little cut, and he just kind of ran away from the Huskies. So Boise State, hey, it's the key in real football. It's the key in video game football. You got to score off the turnover, Bob. We don't know how it happened, but that doesn't matter. Boise State looks like they're going to tie this game up.
And it's Velasquez on for the extra point. And now it's 7-7 with 1:54 to go in the first quarter.
That was a lot of fun, Bob. Yeah, hey, I hope you enjoyed that. It's the closest thing we're going to get to sports, at least to football, till August. So hopefully it was enough to, hold you over. But that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to get Bob Beeler in tonight's action because it's not football at Boise State without the voice of the Broncos at least calling some kind of Bronco touchdown.
Yeah. Well, and then now the trivia question will have an answer. Who is the first Bronco to score a touchdown in esports? It's running back Robert Mahone.
There you go. Well, Any final thoughts, Bob, on what you just saw there? I know what you saw in Vegas. We've got a ton going on tonight in the helmets versus headsets. So any final thoughts as someone who was maybe a little bit too old to be a part of the esports team, but's definitely seen it evolve over the last 10 years?
Well, it certainly is a lot of fun, and I think the biggest thing that I could say as somebody that's over 50 is how lifelike the games have become. Where before, I remember starting with Pong, and it was that little blip that went across the screen, where it was almost like paddle tennis. And now it's about as lifelike as it can get, and it's amazing what they're able to do. And I wish both sides a lot of luck tonight. It should be a lot of fun. There's Pong. That's the game that I first remembered playing, and whoever's on the right side looks like they're in trouble. I guess that's me. Come on, I think I should have a little bit better play. I've at least played this before. Fish, you probably haven't played it.
No, I have never played Pong before, Bob. I think if we had to do the helmets versus headsets and we had a final winner-take-all of you and me in Pong, I think the football team would – none of them have played Pong, but they'd be happy with the result because you would probably crush me. But
yeah.
I really appreciate you joining us. We're having a lot of fun with this helmets versus headsets thing. You know what? We're all rooting for the Broncos, but I got to say, I hope my Bronco team beats your Bronco team tonight. That's the only time I'll be rooting against the football team, at least for a very long time.
I think the football team's going to be better than a lot of people think at this, so we'll see. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and let's have a good time tonight, raise some money for scholarships at Boise State.
Well, thank you so much, Bob, for joining us to voice the Broncos. We hope to, of course, hear from you in the fall when everything calms down. Hope you stay safe. Hopefully, the fridge isn't too tempting for you. You can get out on those bike rides. But once again, huge thank you to Bob Behler for joining us tonight, and we're going to have a lot of fun in store, so make sure you keep with us. And it's always fun to have the voice of the Broncos, Bob Behler, joining us here in Headsets versus Helmets. Fish, Vert, and D-Mac are your call tonight. D-Mac doing a great job in his own role, but we're going to have a guest coming up. We already had Jay Ajayi, and we're going to have another former Bronco, another Super Bowl champion too, Shea McClellan, going to be joining us here momentarily. I did see, once we get him on here, there is something I need to ask him about his recent tweets, because he's definitely bringing it strong to the Boise State esports program. So, Shea, thanks so much for joining us. And I got to ask your first question. I saw your tweet. You and DJ Harper want to have a Halo 2 tournament with the esports program, right?
Well, I kind of put him on the spot there. That was all me. Nothing about that, but a lot of people don't know we were roommates back in the day in the dorms, and we used to run through people in Halo 2, Halo 3. I don't even remember how many times we lost. It was so little. Anytime DJ gets a shot, I'm a retired, washed up guy now, so I got nothing but time. But we got to get DJ on here sometime so we can chat.
And so I'll ask you about that, Shea. You mentioned you and DJ roommates at Boise State. I mean, how do you find time for video games as a Bronco football player? It seems like you guys are practicing all the time, but the Helmets players tonight are putting on quite a show. So where do you find time to put video games into your already compact schedule?
There's a lot of time, man, honestly. You go to school, you get your work done, you go to practice, and then you game after that. That's all I did. Me and DJ, that's what we did. So we have more time than you think, as long as we're getting our school done and all that. So yeah.
So Shea, tell me a little bit about, man. So what's your game? What's your go-to where you challenge anybody? And then you have a couple that you play, but is there one that you're like, anybody who faces me in this, it's gonna be a long night for him?
That would have to be Halo. I think that's the only way I would call people out, especially people that do it for a living. You know what I mean? So obviously there hasn't been a Halo while, but back in the day, I like to think I was pretty good. But you never know. I could be humbled too. So hopefully these guys accept the challenge, and we get after it soon.
Now, Shea, you said you'd go in Halo. Would it be anytime, anywhere? Maybe this arena behind me, if we could set it up, would you find your partner, preferably DJ Harper or anyone else, and throw down in the arena here against some esports players?
Man, I would love that. Anytime, and just let me know. I'll show up. I'll be there. I know DJ's pretty busy right now, coaching the CFL, but I'm sure I can find someone else out there that's pretty good. But I would much rather be DJ, honestly. Sorry.
Now, and one thing, any advice right now? The helmets right now are in the lead, 2-1. We got 2 more matchups, right, Fish? So.
Yep.
Any advice for the helmets closing out, man? I mean, we have FIFA World Cup or FIFA coming up next, so that's another one of my favorite games that I like to play. Any advice for the helmets?
I mean, hey, just compete, get after it. I think a lot of people underestimate. We don't just play football; we're athletes. I mean, we do other stuff too. So just go out there and compete. It's a video game, and things are going to happen you won't like. Don't get frustrated. Just be patient and finish it out.
Well, Shay, thank you so much for joining us. Just stay close because we're going to arrange something in the arena. I've been told you get honorary esports jerseys if you win. So if your game's big enough, you can have something to hang on your wall right next to that Patriots jersey if you want. But stay in touch because we want to get you down here for that Halo tournament. Thank you so much for joining us.
For sure. Anytime, guys. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
They're just coming out tonight, D-Mac. We've got Jay Ajayi, we've got Shea McClellan, two Super Bowl champions, and that also are big on the esports field. That's crazy to me that they win the Super Bowl and they're like, yeah, but I could crush you in my video game. Don't you worry about it.
Well, you know what, Fish? We do a thing after practice. So when I played there, it's called rice grabs. You put your hands in the rice and you strengthen your hands and your fingers and your forearms. I think that muscle is being put to the test tonight with the fingers. They're going so fast in their forearms. So I think shout out to the rice grabs and Coach Pittman, our strength coach, for doing that because they're playing hard and those thumbs are going fast tonight on those controllers.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I mean, I know Avery Williams, the defensive back. He might have like 1 finger interceptions after tonight for how much those fingers are just gonna be ginormous from all that button mashing. But now we're on to our next game here. The helmets could close it out with a victory, and it's FIFA. It's a game that you said you rock with. I'm a little bit newer, so. Take us through it. What's your strategy in FIFA? How do you win? And please don't tell me it's just pick Barcelona or Real Madrid.
No, the key to playing a good game and the key to winning a game in FIFA, you have to share the ball. You have to not be the guy who says, I'm going to take it from one end and dribble it all the way across. You can't do that. I've always won games in FIFA because I know how to set up my teammates. I know how to share the ball. And before I get past midfield, I've already probably shared the ball probably 6 times, right? And that it doesn't give the defense or the opponent time to attack me. And then I can set them up with lob kicks, cross kicks. So sharing the ball is key for this matchup.
You'll have to see, of course, possession, always a big one there. I will say I do appreciate, as much as I, sort of smack picking Barcelona or Real Madrid, I do appreciate that we picked those 2 teams for the match here tonight because it is nice to have 2 of the better teams because that's not something you want to have when you play someone in Madden. I don't know if you've ever done it where, you give them the Bengals and you take the Patriots and you're like, oh, yeah, the Bengals are really good. Trust me, you've probably heard of them.
No, absolutely. I think, like Jay was saying a little bit, it's always good to do like a random pick. If one team is 80 overall average, then make sure to get another team that's 80 overall average. So it's just an average matchup, average skill sets, and that way you can see who is truly the better player.
Yeah, that is the one thing that is always sort of interesting because I will say I do get a lot of questions. How come we don't have a Madden team at Boise State? How come we don't have a FIFA team? And it is kind of weird because there is that computer element. You do have the computer helping you out, which there's no computers helping anyone out in football, for example. There's not like a receiver being controlled by some guy in the booth. So that's the one thing with some of the sports games that I think they kind of lack for becoming more recognizable esports is there's always that computer element that you always have to sort of watch out for that could determine a matchup, depending on, if the CPU runs the wrong way, it's not always your fault you didn't get the pass.
Absolutely. Now, I want to make sure I'm right here. Which here? I want to make sure who is... Okay. Okay, so helmets are in the teal.
Yeah, Esports is in the white, and Kakani Gonzalez, the Boise State football player, is in the teal there. So it looks like he's got Barcelona. Actually, just misplayed a throw-in there. Sort of interesting. I would have thought maybe you talked about FIFA being your game. I would have thought FIFA would have been something the football players rock with. Nice little carry through there. Unfortunately, those run-through passes are so hard to get in FIFA, let alone in real life, and those are pretty easy intercepts, as you talked about. You said pass the ball. How would you rate both sides on sort of ball control right now?
Well, right now, I think they're doing well with the passes, but I think sharing the ball well also goes into attacking down the field. The more you attack down the field with good passes and get to the edges or the perimeter of the opponent, you'll find more success.
Yeah, nice job there, the steal at midfield, but it's going to be Esports regaining possession there, going down on the run. He's got a couple guys, but he's going to out-kick it, not able to save it. That's the play you see a lot in FIFA, or at least that's sort of my go-to play. Run it down in the corner, center it for a header, but you got to be careful not to over-dribble the ball.
Absolutely. You have to be careful with that. You also, too, have to not get in the routine, because if you keep going in the corner, you might have a lot of opportunity coming through the middle as well, too, with good sharp passes that can set up a nice goal.
Yeah, good job by the helmet player there, controlling possession. Might have a chance there. Ball just gets stolen. Dribbling, one of the sneaky hard aspects, because, you know, you lose it for just a second and you just can't get it back. It is always sort of those tricky things in FIFA. It's a very, like, you know, we see soccer, they pass the ball back and forth. It's a nice little run there by the Esports player trying to find something in the middle. He's got a shot if he wants to take it. Hesitated just a bit long there, though.
And see, right there, I'm pulling the trigger right there. I'm shooting at the top of that right there, or at least being more aggressive with that. After you get it to a couple passes around the box, you got to take a shot. You got to take a chance.
Nice little pass in there from the corner, stolen away though by the Esports team. Now going to try maybe their own run. Got to wait for their players though. Don't have numbers advantage. That pass easily stolen away, and I'll be curious to see how the helmet player wants to attack you. You mentioned about being predictable. You can only go down the corner so many times before the other player starts to predict it. So once you go down in the corners, we see once again he's got a guy to the outside, kind of wastes that there, maintains possession, but hasn't had neither player's really had a great opportunity for a shot right now. I think they're doing a little bit too much of that pass that you talked about.
Shoot it. Yeah. See, look, right there, that's the mistake. It's like you're not going to get a perfect shot right at the box. Pull the trigger. Uh-oh. Not a good pass there. I've never liked passing the ball close to the goal, close to my own goal. I punt that thing out of there.
Yeah, you never want the ball in front of your own net. Nice intercept. Good pressure, though. Now he takes this shot. Great save, though, by the goalie. This is a very contested game, but he's got the corner. Just overkicked that one. And with the corner, what's your favorite corner set? Is it going for the header, or is it trying to set something up right outside the box?
I like going for the header, man. On the opposite side of the box, it's perfect. It's always there. If the pass is done right, it's always a nice play.
Nice shot, but the goalie has been phenomenal. Tries to clear it out. We'll have the throw in there for the Esports team in white. This is a best of 3 in FIFA, the 4th game overall, with the helmets leading 2-1. A header on the goal, but he chops it too high. Right now, Real Madrid's had all the chances in this.
No, they have, and I've always said at the beginning of the game, if you are taking shots early at the goalie and you're being aggressive early, typically it's going to fall in your favor.
Esports is in white, as you can see there with the Bronco Esports 1 gamer tag. Football is in teal. Shot blocked there. Good job, but once again, looks like we might have had a foul call. This is the one thing this is where soccer loses me even in FIFA. Oh, he was offsides. I was going to say, I thought it was one of these gimmick fouls that we see a lot of times at the World Cup.
Aren't those guys tremendous actors? I mean, they need to be in some stuff with Brad Pitt or Leo. I mean, because they are tremendous and phenomenal actors when they flop like that.
Yeah, we've talked to a couple of Bronco football players who, after the NFL have had shots at esports. Any soccer player would have an easy acting career if he wanted it. But nice little run there, and I think there's your potential foul. I don't know. He may have tried. He may need to sell that one a little bit better. Oh, no, actually, he was offsides again. Offside. I don't know how he was offsides there. That was kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, and when it comes to the whining factor, too, I think, my girlfriend, she doesn't like basketball players. NBA says they whine a lot. But I'm like, soccer does, too. Soccer kind of has a lot of drama in that, too.
Oh, yeah. Soccer has a ton of drama. Nice little back pass there. He's got an opportunity.
They got a chance.
Shoot it.
Shoot it.
Oh, he waited too long. The goalie's out of position. A couple of missed headers. Corrals it, but another great save. He'll pop it out and, takes a nice little kick there to avoid the corner. The esports player in white, he's got to shoot it more. He's wasting way too many.
He has to shoot the ball earlier. He can't get that close. Shoot it. Now. Shoot it.
There you go. There's the goal.
There it is. Goal.
I don't know how they carry their lungs that long. I wouldn't be able to talk for weeks after one goal, and they say 2 or 3 a match, so I don't know how they carry it. And this does, I do want to bring up something, especially with soccer, since we've seen some offsides. As we do see a run here, we'll maybe get another shot on goal. He plays it around one defender, stalls out once again, way too long. Maybe a foul in the box, though? Could this be a... Oh, no, it's at the end of half. So while we have this opportunity, D-Mac, I do want to ask you, talk about FIFA. Do you want your video games to be super precise where if he's offsides by just a hair, they call it because they know he's offsides? Or do you like it to have more of the realistic where he could be offsides, but maybe the ref didn't see it? How do you prefer your video game?
I prefer it to be if he's offside by a smudge, he's getting called by the smudge. Because I know for darn well if that is playing against me and he gets that advantage and it's not called, I'm going to be upset. So I like it called to the T.
Looks like we did just have a quick rule change there. It is actually going to be a best of 1 for the sake of time. So that puts all of the pressure now on the Helmet side. Thought maybe they might have a best of 3 to claim this back, but we put it to a best of 1 with the esports player leading up 1. He's just got to maybe stall out here for the last second half, but if he takes more shots, he could definitely extend this lead. Nice play in the box there. Stop, doesn't go out of bounds. That was a great play. Might have a chance to clear it. Nothing called in the box on that esports player. Nice setup there. Once again, though, it's just really frustrating. It has to be for you because it is for me. The lack of shots by the Real Madrid player.
Oh, no, I'm not impressed at all on how the Helmets are playing in this one. I mean, I don't see any aggression. I don't see any just any camaraderie or kind of knowing what they want to get at. I think the headsets clearly are on a better pace.
As we saw there in Doc's keys to the game, get a lot of good shots. One of those, and right now shots have been in a premium, but he's on a breakaway. Can he keep the stamina up? Actually going to turn around there, passes it to a teammate, kind of lets the defense reset there. That should allow them to maybe get a clear goalie there. He's able to grab it, and Barcelona's just going to start running out of time. I would have maybe gone for the longer kick instead of the throw in there off the goalie. Gets intercepted in the corner. Does he have someone in the center? He has somebody right at the outside of the box now, right near the middle. A nice run, but unfortunately the defense has been spectacular. This goalie, shout out to the goalie. He's made tons of saves.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, Fish, but have the Helmets even had a shot at the goal?
No,
I don't think so.
Don't think they've had a single shot, and they once again squandered an opportunity there, unfortunately. Getting some questions in the chat here just for a quick reset if you are just joining us. Real Madrid and Barcelona in FIFA 20 in the Helmets and Headset Series. This is the 4th game of the night. The esports team is in white on Real Madrid, leading 1-0. Barcelona being represented by the Helmet player there. But in the overall series, this could be setting us up for a great winner-take-all in Game 5. The Helmets won the first 2 games in Modern Warfare and Madden. The esports team answered back. Nice little shot there. That might count as the first one, but it is 2-1 overall in the series for the Helmets team. So that if they could find a couple of goals here, they'd win the overall series before we get to Modern Warfare.
And Fish, the time is running out. So, I mean, I think they have to really realize, the Helmets do, that look, I only have a couple more opportunities when I get down in scoring position to take advantage of that. If I don't, game's over.
Yeah, nice save, though, by the goalie to keep him in there. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those where you've got to, even if it's an ugly shot, you've just got to take it because you know you only have one or two more opportunities. We are on the fast clock, so that it'll go by a little bit quicker. But a nice run in the corner, centers it, and he misses. He misses. Oh, my gosh, that almost put it away. There is a yellow card in the box, so that might be a free quick. I would not be surprised if Suarez bit somebody. That's what he's known to do in real life.
Wait, so was that would that be a PK? Oh, okay, I thought it was on other team. That's on me.
I think it was on. I think they said that he didn't have a shot at the goal, so they didn't call it a PK, but it was on Barcelona, I believe. But they still maintain possession because the ball went out of bounds. Steal, unfortunately, and yeah, I think Barcelona might have maybe one shot in the final minutes to try and tie this because they haven't had much pressure right now, and an offsides, once again, though, going to stop Real Madrid. It looks like we've got a timeout here. And what would you do there? I mean, you saw him in the pause menu there. Is there any suggestions you could make, maybe formation, maybe a sub on one of the teams that you would suggest to the helmet player?
Yeah, I mean, like I stated earlier in the broadcast, it's like their opportunity, especially for the helmets, it's kind of closed again. So on this possession, on this drive going down the field, they have to take advantage of it because if they don't, I mean, time is definitely a factor right now.
Yeah, the Helmets trailing 1-0. Esports controlling the team in white. Barcelona just losing that one. Might have been their best opportunity. Be a throw-in for the Boise State Esports team. Just 20 minutes left in regulations, plus some stoppage time here, but with the fast clock, that'll go by much faster in our Helmets and Headsets series. Headsets leading this one, but the Helmets leading the overall series 2-1 in what will amount to a best of 5 and potentially a huge tiebreaker in Modern Warfare, as there's a nice run down the side, enters the box, looks for something in the mid. Nice little play around there, but gets stolen away. Just neither team really seems that comfortable taking a shot when they need to.
Yeah, that right there, he should have crossed that as soon as he got into the box. He had a couple opportunities on the other side.
Nice little run nice here, though. He might have another opportunity, just stolen away. Might be a corner kick, though. We'll have to see. Couldn't quite tell who it went out of bounds on. It is a corner, so there's another opportunity for Real Madrid and Bronco Esports to put it in. Tries to go for the long header, stolen away, but they've got to come up with something here, the Helmets do, real quick.
Yeah, very quickly. Another corner.
Another corner. That's time once again defended very well. Bicycle kicked out of the box. Stolen away. Shot high. I mean, shout out to the goalie. He might win man of the match for Barcelona. He has been incredible today. We'll see if this can result in a run. No, great defense there by Real Madrid. And I'm not sure Barcelona might have another opportunity. The defense really has been the name of the game for Real Madrid. They have not allowed a great possession in their half.
Yeah, you have to admit their defense has been well, and their passing and their efficiency has been very well as well too. So, I mean, how they've been playing, you see where the scores turned out.
Enter the final minutes here of this game in FIFA, a best of 1 due to time. So Boise State Esports could have the opportunity, but a nice run down in the corner by the Helmets. One man to beat, plays around him nicely. Take the shot to tie it. Oh, just barely defended, but it's going to be a corner kick.
But think about that. We get this late in the game, and that is the first aggressive shot that the Helmets have had at the goal. Nice.
Nice corner there. He still has it. Could he take a shot? No, he didn't. I don't know if that was the wrong button. Looked like he went for the pass right into the defender. And Real Madrid might actually be able to answer here on the counterattack. Nobody on a run quite yet near the middle. A couple defenders to beat. Does get stopped, maintains possession, chips it up towards the goal. Nice job there by the goalie. This is Barcelona's last chance.
Yep, it's their last shot here. They got to make it happen on this.
It's going to get stolen, though. Now we are going to see how much stoppage time is left. That might be the difference for the Helmets to see if they can find the equalizer here. Nice run, 3 minutes of stoppage time. He's got somebody near the center, stolen away. Unfortunately, the man charging at the top of the box not able to corral it. And with this fast clock on, I think Real Madrid should be able to comfortably dribble out this victory.
Nice pass.
Corner kick for Real Madrid. Just 20 seconds left in the match here. Almost gets stolen away, but no more time left on the clock. Real Madrid, the Boise State esports player, going to be victorious in this FIFA 20 matchup, winning 1-0. And I gotta say, that was Joe Gibson, the Boise State player, and I gotta say, this is kind of what I wanted. It doesn't matter who wins. Our Game 5 is going to matter, D-Mac. It's Modern Warfare, and the teams are tied at 2. So I'm going to be excited to see who wins this because it's nice to have this mean something.
Dude, this is coming down to the wire. I can't wait for this. Let's do it.
Well, before we get to it, you got to get excited, so we're going to take a very short break, but when we come back, it is winner take all in the Helmets versus Headset series in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Game 5 of the night, the last game. It's coming up next after this break. Back to the Boise State esports page, and we have had quite the night in our Helmets versus Headset series. 5 Boise State esports players taking on 5 members of the Boise State football team. You can see all 10 players listed on your screen there. And Idaho Central Credit Union, the official financial sponsor of the Boise State esports program, announcing before this started that they would be donating $1,000 to the winning team of each match, and both teams coming out before and saying that they will be donating their $1,000 to either the Union of Students Fund, the emergency fund for the Boise State esports team, or the President's Fund to help students for the Boise State football team. So right now, once we get that money updated, it will be $2,000 aside. $1,000 is going to a scholarship fund, which is great news, but I think that, the last $1,000 of the night, I should say, is going to somebody. Somebody's going to donate $3,000 to the other team's $2,000, and it's so fun to have a Game 5, D-Mac, that it's going to mean everything. There's bragging rights on the line. There's money on the line. What more could you ask for as we wrap up this semester?
And I think, too, you have to give props to both teams where, hey, the Helmets came out. You know, they came out 2-0, and then now you've seen the Headsets say, hey, look, we've been down, but we're going to come back and we're going to make this interesting. And now it's 2-2. So, hey, look, it comes down to the nitty-gritty. And Fish, I just want to say, with all bias aside, just skill set on skill set, how you've seen the game so far, who is your pick?
Well, you know, people who follow Boise State esports know that I love nothing more than being right. So I've got to pick the Helmets because they dominated in Call of Duty the first time. I want to go with the Headsets. I want to go with my guys, but Call of Duty wasn't close. I mean, let me put this out. I might have to find a way for me to drop the Headset and jump in for the Headset squad because they needed a boost after what I saw the first time. So I want to be right, so I'm going to pick the Helmets. I think they're going to take this series. It feels bad to say, but I got to go Helmets.
And you know what? We're going to see in this last matchup, you know, in honor of the Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary going on, who's going to channel the GOAT and the clutchness in this final matchup and pull through? Because, hey, look, even though Headsets didn't play that well, hey, game's on the line now. It's all different. It's not week 1 now. It's the championship. Things can happen. So I can't wait to see it. But you know what? I agree with you. Helmets will win. They'll take it.
Of course, you're going to root for the Helmets here. I knew it. Of course, David McKenzie, former Boise State football player, joining us here. Got to go with his squad, the Helmets. But yeah, maybe the first Modern Warfare game was playoff rookie Jordan. You know, lost in the first round a bunch, got the choker, the moniker just a bit, and then he came out with the back-to-back three-peats. So maybe a three-peat for the headsets, but. Hey, if they win this, if they get a reverse sweep, I'm saying we need a Last Dance documentary on what happened. Because we come back from down 2-0 and absolutely fight and claw your way back. That would be phenomenal. So I'm excited either way. Either way, it doesn't matter because $1,000 is being donated to a scholarship fund. And I don't want to speak for you, D-Mac, but I've had a ton of fun tonight. We've had former Broncos on, Super Bowl champions on. It's been a great night. I would love to do this again because the team that loses is going to say, hey, we want revenge, by the way.
You know, Fish, I have to say, you know, it has definitely been an honor. And, you know, I just think, you know, us being together on this, I think we were meant to do this together. And I think that we'll continue to do it. And I know Haskell's listening, and he'll continue to make this happen because I had a good time. And, hey, it's game time.
Yeah, it would be a ton of fun, and hopefully the next time we do this, we can have everybody up on the stage, we can have this arena rocking, we can have some trash talk up on the desk between me and you when the headsets and helmets are going at it. But we've had a lot of fun being able to put this together despite the social distancing. It's been a lot of fun, and we're going to end with something that is near and dear to my heart. It is Gunfight in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. If you are unfamiliar, that is their 2v2 mode. You play to the first to 6 wins. We're going to have a best of 3 as you see the maps there. King, Rust, and Speedball. Winner take all. So it's actually going to be 5v5. I've never seen Gunfight 5v5. So this is going to be even more wild than I was expecting. I guess this is sort of search and destroy-esque, but that fourth bullet is what really has to be D-Mac. Winner take all. That's what I was hoping for. I was a bit nervous after a 2-0 start for the Helmets, but winner take all is going to be a great way to end the night.
And I think, too, you have to look at the key players and the players leading their teams in this final matchup, and that's why I chose my winner being the Helmets, because the way Avery has played throughout this series, you know, you have to put your hat on or put your faith in the player who has kind of been carrying that success today.
Yeah, and I guess it would be maybe a great – I know we're still in the spring semester, but I do believe Avery's going to be a senior for the Bronco football team this fall. And what a way to kick off your senior season by winning against – it's not football, but to start it off with a W, winning in the Helmets versus Headset series. I think Avery Williams – that's kind of why I picked the Helmets, I'll be honest. As you see our great arena, maybe we could have that here. And, hey, look, if we can't play in Madden DMAC, I'm sure we can find a game on that game cabinet, maybe like Pong that Bob was challenging us to. We could find something to go head-to-head on that if we really needed to.
Now, that would be fun. Another shout out to Bob Beeler, man. That's a mentor of mine, a guy who took me under his wing when I came out of sports and stuff. So I shout out to that guy. It was just fun hearing him call that game. You know, he might need to go into a profession of esports commentating.
I know. I got to be careful how much I introduce Bob to esports because soon he'll just be the voice of every Broncos sport, and I'll say, Bob, you got to share the light with all of us. So got to make sure Bob doesn't steal our spotlight here for esports. But you know what? Big shout out to all the guests we've had. As we mentioned, we had President Trump on to start. We had Jay Ajayi, Bob Beeler, Shane McClellan. Everybody coming out for this, and it's going to end with Gunfight here. And I'm going to say these are maps designed for 2, maybe 3 people if you are familiar with Call of Duty Modern Warfare. 5 people, as people said in the chat. This is going to be insane. This is going to be maybe the most nonstop action we've seen because these are not maps designed for 5-on-5. By the way, once you are eliminated, you are done for the round. That is what that stall means. So 3 members down for the helmet side right now. Make that 4. Just John and Juku left, and that's a nice start. It's the best of 6, but that's a nice start. Maybe we are a documentary on our way. The last dance of the esports team in the comeback. So we will play the same map until somebody hits 6. The guns are the same for every player. Then they will swap every 2 rounds, and the players will also swap sides every 2 rounds. Unfortunately, Cinco going to be the first one down. Professor will fall as well, and now 2 members go down. Maybe that was just the start that the football team wanted to have. They got, eliminated quickly, and now there's just one member left, Cosmic Pancake, not going to be able to survive all that bullet fire. I don't think, this is we have our best of 5, this gunfight's best of 3. We could be in for a lot of rounds because this seems back and forth so far.
Uh-oh, I can't wait.
Looks like we do have the pistol rounds here. This always an interesting one. No secondary, just pistol. Pisties or fisties, as I like to call it there, because you do have the fist as your secondary there. You can kind of punch people with. Nice little flank as the Golden Kid Avery Williams goes down on the side of the helmets. 3 members, though, down on the headset side. They are starting to make a comeback here. You do see all 3 members of the helmets down in the corner, but that's not going to matter. The helmets, I'm getting nervous now. I'm nervous for the headsets, even though I picked the helmets to win. Does that even make sense?
Hey, it's all good. It's just the presence that it brings. I get it.
Hey, you know what? I was hoping for the reverse sweep, but these last 2 rounds have not meant much. Another pistol round here. A couple guys up top. We'll see if somebody can get a sneak there. We did see it was in Doc C's the game. He does get caught out there. Looked like that was Pyros. He do has 2 members of the football team trying to hunt him down. Eliminations going back and forth. This has not been what the Allegiance, the headsets, wanted to see. 4 members down. Unfortunately, Cosmic Pancakes, the clutcher kick didn't happen. Might have to go with the kick because after a first-round loss, Helmet's really taken over.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive round. They got right to the point. So right now, just to clarify, Fish, so if they get 2 more of those, then that's a sweep, correct?
3 more.
Wins?
It's weird. It's kind of best of 11. Okay. It's first to 6 wins. I don't know why it's so many, but yeah, 3 more of those, and they would have won the first map here, and we go to another one. Unfortunately, it's going to be much of the same. There is 2 members down on the helmets, but Cosmic Pancake going to have to do something incredible there. Both throwing knives miss, and now we're 2 rounds away from the helmets really putting the hurt on. I was shocked. I thought we were going to have something back and forth. The helmet, something woke up in them after that first round. See if the headsets can find a way back in this. Nice little holding the tactical high ground there. Unfortunately, did not work out for the headsets here on what looks to be the M4, one of the more classic Modern Warfare weapons. Couple of eliminations traded back and forth. I will say the helmets do have the high ground. He tried for the flank, actually got found out. Avery Williams did the Golden Kid, so now it is a 2-on-3. Make that a 1-on-3. We'll see what Andrew Van Buren can do. Can he get the clutch? He's going to get 1, but nice answer back there by the headsets.
Good response right there. Not quitting, staying in the game.
Yeah, the headsets definitely took the, I guess you could call it tactical. Some more advanced Call of Duty players would call it camping. But, hey, you got to do what you got to do to win there. Do whatever it takes. Now we are on the shotgun, so we are going to see a lot of close-range combat here. Grenade going to go out. Couple of eliminations. 1-on-2. Frosty Bite being taken down. The helmets without one of their players. The shotgun, and it looks like the EBR is the secondary single-shot little sniper rifle there. Always a lot of fun to play with. Back and forth, actually. 3 members down on both sides, but a great flank by one of the members of the football team. It comes down to a 1v1, and the headsets win it. They're back in it.
Wow.
Nerdy Bird getting the 1-on-1 win, preventing the helmets from going to match point. We'll run back the guns, as I mentioned, for the second round. I'd be curious to see how many people stick with the shotgun there. Definitely the easier one to use. Do have to get a little bit closer, though, as you could see. Big shout out to John Ajuku, John Wick there, 10-5. Very hard to have that high of a kill-death ratio in gunfight. Couple of eliminations going back and forth. Headsets are up a member. A flanking headset, though, is going to get caught out. Will pick up 1 elimination. And unfortunately, looks like Nerdy Bird going to go down. It is a 2-on-1. We'll have to see. They are both above him. He finds somebody out. Gets 1 with the drop shot. Avery Williams now the last member left versus the Boise State U. Not sure which player that is for the headsets. Does find him out. Avery tries to slide to the overtime flag. Great job there. The Allegiance. The headsets have tied it back up. Maybe I spoke too soon about a dominating helmets win.
What a response. What a response, Fish.
Yeah, and in case you were wondering why a flag suddenly appeared, there is a time limit. You'll see at the top of your screen there, the 40 seconds. If that runs out, a flag appears in the middle, and if you capture that, does not matter if you have 1 player versus 5. If you do capture it, you win the round. So prevents permanent stalling from either side, as this is another fast-paced round with the shotgun here. Couple eliminations on 3 on both sides, actually. The pistols this time as the secondary. Great job there by Avery Williams using that pistol. The extra range can sometimes help. Pyro's the last member left, gets caught out though, and now the helmets are on match point. They could end it right here and be 1 map away from victory.
But you still can't overlook Fish, just the fight in the headsets right now. I mean, they just have grit, and they're saying, we're not giving up. This is still ours to take. So it's fun to watch this competition and their competitiveness.
Yeah, you could say they are Broncos through and through, not giving up to the very end. Unfortunately, the elimination's going to start on to 1. Gets traded back with John Wick going down there. Nerdy Bird will fall, so it is a 4-on-3. Great use of the pistol there by Cinco to get another elimination. Pyro's going to have to do something crazy. He gets taken down. It's up to the last remaining member. Does get 1 elimination, has the shotgun, gets another one. Could we be? Oh, I thought he was going to go off, but the helmets will win the first map, and they are now 1 map away from being the victors of the first helmets and headset series.
Hey, but the good thing is, too, Fish, is that the headsets are still keeping this thing interesting. It's not just like a full-out, sweep or the helmets just dominating. It's a back and forth, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I have to say, big shout out to the headsets, down 4-1, battled all the way back to make it 4-4. So that was incredible there to just battle back. But yeah, I mean, shout out to the helmets. There's a reason I picked them. They are absolutely incredible. I think John Ojukwu having a 2-0 KD in that map. I mean, even if you're not a Call of Duty player, you have to realize how hard it is. Those maps are so tiny. They're not meant for 5 players. Somebody even said it kind of feels like paintball, which I'm going to say that's a sport that, I'm not saying we should play it, but I'll be honest, at least for me, D-Mac, when we get out of this quarantine, paintball may be one of the first things I do. I am a big paintball fan. It's kind of one of those nice sports that's easy to get into. It's good conditioning, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, Fish, you got to invite me when you go. I'll go with you.
Oh, perfect. And we got to be on opposite teams, though, because if the helmets win, I'm going to need my revenge.
Oh, man, I better wear some extra clothes that day.
You know what? Just one of the many things I'm looking forward to when all of this ends, but this is something that you could do whenever, and I'm so glad we're doing it right now. It is the helmets versus the headset series. We played 5 games tonight. This is the tiebreaker, Game 5. Huge snipe by Pyros, by the way. He's going to get taken out, though. This is a best-of-3 overall on Gunfight. The helmets leading 1-0. So if they get the get to 6 points first here, they would win. It is back and forth. The snipers do slow it down just a bit, adds to the camping nature of it there. A little bit of a spam coming out from Cosmic Pancake, gets another one. So it's up to Avery Williams. He's been the hero all night. He's got the 1v2 and then the shotgun as the secondary. He is up top. The flag has spawned, so he's got to get to the flag at some point. Looks like there is a member of the esports team camping it. He's going to go right to the flag. Can he get it? Oh, he can. I thought he had it. Headsets with a nice comeback victory there.
Good opening win, Fish. Good start.
Nice start there. Nice job by Cosmic Pancake. Just watching the flag, knowing that the other team has to get it as well, because there is another tiebreaker that if your team has more health, you are the winners as well. It's very complicated for a Call of Duty game that really should just be first one to eliminate the enemy team there, as we see one elimination going out on to Nerdy Bird. We'll see if the football team, the helmets, can pick up another one there. We see John Ojukwu climbing up the ladder, finds out a member. Oh, that was actually his teammate. I thought it was a member of the Boise Esports team. Unfortunately, right now for the Esports, the headsets, they are kind of stuck. They're camping all in the back there. Some of them are very, very low. It is a 3v2. Nice little use of the wall there by King Drew the Goat, Andrew Van Buren, Boise State running back. It's all up to Cosmic Pancakes here. What are they able to do? The flag is live. It's a 3v1, though. We'll see. Gets one elimination, but unfortunately, they hopped off the flag. I thought it would help, but nope. Coalition going to capture the flag. You can't leave the flag like that, D-Mac.
You can't leave it, but I can't get over that name, Fish. Cosmic Pancake. Might need to change my username to that.
You know, I always see people's gamer tags, and I'm like, why can't I be that creative? I just go with Think Fish because it makes sense. It's something kind of easy. But I see names like Cosmic Pancake. I'm like, how do you guys come up with these names? I'm kind of jealous of it.
I agree.
Couple of eliminations, and it looks like with the snipers put away, the helmets have come out to play. They are Pyros, the last remaining member, but he did get one elimination. Went for the dirty drop shot there, something that I'm not sure many Call of Duty players respect, but he gets eliminated for it. So you know what? I'll take that one for the helmets. I don't like drop shotters either. We'll see now what the helmets can do. Same weapon. They play the same weapon 2 rounds in a row, and then they swap spawns, which can sometimes pay huge dividends depending on the map. So we'll see if the helmets can pick up a 3rd victory in this series. Going to find one out. Nice use there. 2 of them have gone down on both sides, however. A lot of damage going out onto Cinco. He's going to try and throw a grenade, bounce it off the wall. I think he actually threw that off the map, unfortunately. Little do the helmet player know he was actually next to 2 members of the esports team. He gets eliminated, so it's just Avery Williams now going up against Cosmic Pancake, slowly becoming a caster favorite, at least for the name, and the headset's going to get this one. This is turning into the back and forth I thought that we might see here.
Absolutely. Cosmic Pancake and the Golden Kid, man. I love it. Going back and forth.
A lot of fun gamer tags on both sides. I will say the Helmets team, their gamer tags definitely a bit more creative than some of the esports players, but of course some of them I think being loaned accounts, as we see Andrew Ambu and King Drew the Goat going down. Unfortunately, Nerdy Bird dying from the fall damage. It's all up to Pyros. We'll see what he can do. He's on the opposite side of the map. He's got a ton of people coming for him with the pistol. There's actually a guy right to his left. Didn't even see him. Helmets take that one, but we'll see if they can put together a win streak at all.
Back and forth, Fish. Back and forth.
Yeah, that is the one nice thing that I do enjoy about Gunfight. Everything's random. Doesn't matter if you're a level 1 or if you're max level. You know, golden camos, the guns, or whatever the game decides. So it does sort of even up the playing field a bit for new players here, as it looks like the helmet's going to go rushing in. Frosty Bite going to pay for that one. Nice use of the pistol there by John Wick, able to get 1. 2 members down on the headsets. Nice grenade. Unfortunately, he will pay for it. 3 members down for the helmets. We'll see if the esports team can wrap this one up. Trying to get a pistol elimination is Nerdy Bird, going to frag grenade up into the oil rig there. Nice little double elimination there, the fall damage, but still getting it, and it's going to be up to Andrew Van Buren to see if he can get the last 2 eliminations. Flag about to spawn. He's got to get over to the flag, but he's also got to pick up a pair of eliminations as well. He can, I don't know if he saw that guy around the corner. There he is, gets found out, and as you mentioned, D-Mac, very back and forth.
Fish, you pretty good at this game?
You know, I like to think I'm pretty good. I like to think I might be able to, you know, maybe single-handedly win a 1v5, but that's just me. I like to think I'm pretty good.
You got to teach me, man. I want to get good at it.
You know what? Right after our paintball session, we'll come back, we'll play some Call of Duty, and we'll make sure that, you know, just because I beat you in paintball doesn't mean I'll keep beating you in Call of Duty. How's that sound?
Hey, it's a date.
Perfect. Well, you know what? Any way to get out of the house once this quarantine ends, I'll take. It looks like the helmet's also doing a great job. They've seemed to be the winners every time we swap over to a new gun. They have 2 eliminations, none of them going down just yet. We'll see if anyone on the esports team can get one. Looks like they're running at him. Gets the knife there. Good job by the member of the esports team. Unfortunately, it is a 3v2. Another elimination going out, unfortunately. 1 member left, but they're on the flag. I think if they would have stayed there, they would have got it, but the helmet's just barely holding serve. John Ajuku there with the elimination. So the helmets could go to match point here. This is first to 6 wins on Gunfight. It's a best of 3 overall. The helmets won the first one, and our helmets and headset series overall tied at 2. So a lot on the line. $1,000 being donated to a scholarship fund up for grabs for the winning team. Unfortunately, Avery Williams going to go down. Does get the trade with Nerdy Bird. Looks like there was a member, Pyros, up top on that little hideout there. Very nice use, but unfortunately not able to get the kill. It's very back and forth right now. Another 3v2. We do see Andrew Van Buren very low on health. He could be susceptible to just one shot anywhere. We're going to see John Ojukwu go down. It is a 2-on-2. This could be the deciding factor here. Helmets win puts him on match point. They're going to get a pick onto Professor. It's a 1v1. The flag is up. Can Cinco 2X get it? Yes, he can. Once again, the headset's leaving the flag. This is match point. This is game everything point. You can come up with any superlative, DMAC. This is everything on the line for the Helmets right now.
Everything on the line, everything that they've worked for, everything that they have put in so far today, they have a chance to finish it right here. This is awesome.
We've seen time and time again on the football field them end it when they need a big drive offensively or defensively. We'll see if they can do it here on Rust. They could win the headsets versus helmets here with the win on this round. It looks like it's the FAMAS 3-round burst gun Call of Duty players either love or hate. Avery Williams goes down, so does John Ojukwu. Couple members going down for both sides. It's another 2-on-2. It looks like Andrew Van Buren, the last one alive, hiding in the back of the map. He's got to get Pyros and Boise State use the gamer tag. They're not sure which player that is. Take it down, and that will be the game. Just gets one. This could be it. All the pressure on Andrew Van Buren. It's him versus Pyros. Pyros has to clutch to keep the esports team alive. Flag on the field. He jumps down right onto it, sneaks up on him, and Pyros barely keeps him in the game. I thought Van Buren had it.
What a play. What a play. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, Fish.
Unfortunately for the headsets, they have to make those big plays 2 more rounds in a row. The Helmets team only has to win one to finish off the series. We'll see who makes the big play here. Both teams very cautious off the start. Going to try and frame out a couple of areas there. Cut it down. Looks like almost a sneak attack came out, but the headset's doing a great job. All 5 members alive. Avery Williams trying to find them. They all are hiding back in their spawn, so a well-placed grenade or a well-placed flank could eliminate a couple. 2 of them go down. It's a 3-on-3 now. Does look like the headsets have been found out. Pyros goes down. Helmets have the advantage as the flag is about to spawn. It's all up to Cosmic Pancakes. Can the name pay off? He gets 1. He needs 2 more. Flag is on the field. He has to capture it to keep the headset's dreams alive. He's going to let it bleed out. Gets on. He doesn't get it. The Helmets are going to be victorious.
It's all over.
It's over.
It's all over. It is all over. Wow. Give it up for the Helmets, Fish. They did it.
They did it. You know, I was team headsets, but I'll at least rejoice in the fact I picked the Helmets to win. Shout out to John Ojukwu getting the final kill of the match. And shout out to everyone who participated tonight. Shout out to our chat that's been going all night. Fish and DMAC. Shout out to you, David McKenzie, for this. A lot of fun putting this together. The headsets and helmets. 5 Boise State esports players. 5 Boise State football players playing some video games. One of the few things that we can still do in this social distancing quarantine right now. And you know what? $5,000 total dollars being donated to a couple of scholarship funds. $3,000 from the football team. So it's so fun. I can't wait to do this again, honestly. I'm counting down the days to Helmets versus Headsets Part 2.
No, same here. Thanks everybody who participated. I mean, it's always cool to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. So, I mean, $5,000 raised, I mean, that's just awesome. You can't be mad about that. So, great event to be a part of.
As you can see there, the 10 players that participated tonight, big props to all of them. As you can see there, Idaho Central Credit Union, the official financial sponsor of Boise State Esports, pledging $1,000 to the winning team of every match tonight. And the teams coming together and announcing that they would be donating that $1,000 to either the Deans of Student Emergency Fund, which will be receiving $2,000 from the Broncos Esports program, and the President's Fund to help students receiving $3,000 from the Boise State football team, who won 3-2 in our 5-game series. Well, it was a ton of fun for me. Like I said, I can't wait for the second one of this. I can't wait for it to be in the arena, get people up on the stage. But David McKenzie, former Boise State football player, DMAC, any closing thoughts for tonight? Because it's been a long night, but it's been a fun night.
Yeah, I think it's been super fun, but also it's been very just enjoyable to watch both teams compete and not give. Also just seeing the Helmets kind of show people that, hey, we like to play video games and also we're pretty good at it as well. So that was kind of impressive on my end as well, and I'm glad I got to do it with you. We had a good time, man.
Yeah, it was a fantastic time. I'd love to do it again. It's going to be a lot of fun. But to everyone in the chat, thank you so much for being a part of it. Thank you to Idaho Central Credit Union, as we mentioned, for donating $5,000. And I know the football team isn't playing. There's a couple more esports events, so if you want to follow the Twitch channel, you can type in !free sub to keep it going. There's an event Friday, and then I think we're going to wrap up the season next Friday. And then, of course, we hope to see the Boise State football team out on the blue in the fall, assuming everything calms down. But once again, big shout-out to the chat. Big shout-out to everyone who joined us. Big shout-out to you, D-Mac. You know, we met in comm class, and here we are, using our communication degrees to bring you this fantastic event.
Look at us, man. We did it. This was awesome, and I had fun with you, brother.
Heck yeah. Let's do it again sometime. Yeah, we got some thank yous that production's going to feed us here before we sign off. We got one to Brad. We are breaking up a bit in the ear production. If you could... there we go. Brad LaRondo, I know, was the first one I heard. Very instrumental. Heather Kimmett, also very instrumental in putting this all together for making sure the two sides could communicate there. Did, some of the starting email chains. Big shout out to, Dr. Marlene Tromp, president of Boise State University, joining us to kick all of this off. Big shout out to former Broncos Jay Ajayi and Shane McClellan, both of them joining us on the program here, talking about their journeys into esports. And then shout out to Bob Beeler, the voice of the Broncos. Hope to hear from him in the fall. It just should be very exciting to hear him. But, yeah, he joined us as well. Even called some Boise State football. So, as I mentioned, drop an !free sub in the chat. It lets you watch all of our previous broadcasts. And if you don't even want to watch tonight, just find the interview with Bob Beeler, and he called some Boise State football video game style. You want to check that out. I know Bob has been just trying to satisfy that itch right now, so definitely go back and watch that. It was a ton of fun.
I want to say one thing, too. Fish, me and you did the thing with Chris Lewis on the roof for the stadium. So, hey, that paid off with our stuff with Chris.
Oh, I was going to say, big shout out to Chris Lewis, the secret, maybe not so secret anymore, roof broadcast partners going strong there. I'm sure he would have been down. If he knew there was Madden, Chris Lewis would have been down, and he would have been pushing players off to play it. So, big shout out to Chris Lewis. Production, I know, had a couple more. If they could just repeat them in my ear one more time. Joel Schneider and Joe Nickel, make sure they get that shout out. Big shout out to everyone who put this on. I mean, it's so hard. I mean, we know from an esports side, I'm sure you know from a football side, DMAC, how hard it is to get events together. To get two teams in one spot in their own houses, put all that together, it takes more work than you know. Shout out to my skeleton production crew in the back, making us look and sound as well as they can. So big thank you to everyone involved. If we missed you, just know that you are very much appreciated here. And I will just say one final send-off. Thank you so much. But we're going to leave you with some of the top plays from tonight's action. And there was a bunch of them. But thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to you, DMAC, and have a good one. Can they find Well, it's a safe play, but come on, there's $1,000. Go for the touchdown. Just put him to bed early, but I can't hate on the 7-point lead. Maybe I'm just upset that the Saints are losing in Madden. Just
out of it, so.
Well, you talked about maybe Avery going for it. You see it's 4th and goal from the 2. He's going to go for the end zone. He's going to get it. Who else but Julian Edelman? And I think we can put a bow on this one. I don't know how the esports player, I don't know how they can come back, because that's just deflating to be scored on 4th and goal.
Well, you know what? I mean, Avery's played a complete football game here. I mean, he's done good special teams. He's done good on offensively and defensively. I mean, 24-3, that's a pretty good showing. So I think the way Avery has played, he has deserved to be in this position that he's in.
Yeah, he will give
out of it, so.
Well, you talked about maybe Avery going for it. You see it's 4th and goal from the 2. He's going to go for the end zone. He's going to get it. Who else but Julian Edelman? And I think we can put a bow on this one. I don't know how the esports player, I don't know how they can come back, because that's just deflating to be scored on 4th and goal.